Good evening, Internet. My name is Aaron Guerra, and I will be your Game Master tonight in this, the latest monthly installment of the Role Players Guild of Kansas City online Dread game. Uh, we are currently trying very hard to grow this channel, and we'd love it if you could give us a follow right down at the bottom of your screen. This will help us unlock some wonderful Twitch features and hopefully bring you more live play goodness like tonight in the future. If you would like to join us for one of these online adventures, head on over to our Discord where we will post the signups for games and other events brought to you every month. If you are watching after the live show on our YouTube channel, throw us a like and subscribe and hit that bell to help us build our channel over there. Those links will all be in the description courtesy of our engineer Brad. Thanks, Brad. Tonight, for your viewing pleasure, we have another installment of Dread the role-playing game. Dread is a rules-light, theater of the mind horror RPG. So if you have any concerns about horror or gore or horror movie settings, this is your trigger warning now. But unlike other role-playing games, Dread has no stats and no skills. Instead, to create a character, the players will choose an archetype and be given a series of short answer questionnaires about their character that they will be playing to develop their personality, any secrets they might have, and do some world building. This system is also a diceless system, so as long as the action the player is trying to take is reasonable for the type of character they're playing, they'll be able to accomplish that without any failure. For example, a third-year medical student with a good med kit will always be able to bandage a cut on someone's arm. Now in Dread, if players try to do something outside of their character's skill set, that's when in a live face-to-face game we would turn to a Jenga tower, and they would have to pull a block from that tower. For example, if our same third-year medical student was given a stick of dynamite and told to go over there and blow up that bridge, that would be outside of the skill set of most medical students, so they'd pull a block from the tower a Jenga tower in order to succeed. Sometimes the task is very difficult, and the player would have to make multiple pulls. For example, if our third-year medical student was trying to set a compound fracture of an arm in the back of a pickup that's going down a pothole-filled road, and someone's shooting a gun at them, that would probably call for 3 or 4 pulls on our tower to be successful. Now, as you can see, tonight we're playing over the internet, so it'd be a little difficult to gather these gentlemen around a Jenga tower. So instead, we're going to be using dice. These 3 players are going to be sharing a common pool of numbers 1 through 90. So instead of pulling a block, they're going to roll a 90-sided die, and we'll be marking down whatever number they roll. As long as they roll a number that hasn't previously been rolled, then that action will be a success. And that action will be a success, and we'll write that number down. If they roll a number that's already been rolled previously tonight, that's when they're going to lose 1 hit point. Each of these players has 2 hit points for their character, and if they lose their second hit point, that will be the equivalent of the Jenga tower being knocked over in a physical game. Whenever the tower is knocked over, either in a live game or online in our simulation here, that will be the scene where the character will meet a gruesome and grisly demise. And I will narrate their tragic end. Afterwards, we will continue the story, but the remaining players will have an all-fresh new set of 90 numbers, free and clear of any marked numbers to start again. So just to be clear, the players are sharing the same set of 90 numbers, and will only be restarting the pool or tracking when someone loses all of their hit points and dies. All right. In addition to that, a few other rules. The players are always allowed the option to refuse a pull or a roll at any time. If they choose not to do this, they'll simply suffer the consequences of whatever that action is that they decided not to do. If I've asked them to pull to jump over a gorge to escape some ravenous monster, they simply won't make that pull, and they'll have to escape it some other way. A couple other rules. The players are allowed to negotiate for things with me that I have not described in the scene already. If they'd like to find a flashlight or a gun, then we'll discuss how many pulls in order to find that item, assuming that it wasn't previously described. So for an example, if they're on top of a building and they'd like there to be a fire escape and I hadn't described it, I'll offer them a fire escape for probably 3 or 4 rolls, so that they can escape whatever the axe-wielding maniac is on top of the roof. If the players would like a character to be extra alert or to defend against an attack that they're anticipating, once again, we'll negotiate a number of pulls. I believe there's an axe murderer behind that door in the basement. Sounds good. You can be on your guard for 2 rolls or 2 pulls. The final rule for Dread is the noble sacrifice rule. At any time, if the characters think, or if the players think that it is narratively appropriate for their character to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, they can simply tell me that they're going to do a noble sacrifice and will narrate what that looks like. In a live game, all the players would have to do is simply reach over and knock the tower over, but in tonight, they'll simply just tell us that they want to do that. This noble sacrifice would be, as an example, someone running into a horde of zombies with a bomb strapped to them, blowing up the horde to give the survivors enough time to get away. The sacrifice will give a large narrative reprieve to the remaining players, and if we are approaching the end of the story, might be enough to carry the survivors all the way to the end. If we're not near the end of the game, then after the sacrifice, we'll reset the number pool, and the game will continue with a fresh set of numbers for the remaining players, much like if a player had died, except they'll get that large narrative reprieve. Okay, I think we've covered all the rules. These players are familiar with the game, so they shouldn't have any questions. So I think we're ready to get started. So ladies and gentlemen, people of all persuasions, with that I would ask you to get comfy in your seats, and I welcome you here to Online Dread. Let's turn on the stage lights for the theater of your mind, sharpen your axes, come to grips with your phobias, and get ready to chase some ghosts, because it's time for Dread. Tonight, we're going to be traveling just a little bit into the future to the zombie apocalypse, a very popular setting. Much like in the setting Walking Dead, these characters will have found themselves in an outbreak of an unknown zombie plague and have in one way either made their way or found or were born into this community that is trying to go to self-sustaining. Community is trying to get to self-sustaining. So as it's putting up various solar panels and getting in gardens and doing a little bit of livestock, they occasionally still have to make some needs by going on supply runs. For this community, everybody's name is put into a fishbowl. They pull out names, and those individuals will then be tasked with a grocery list of food, water, and gas to go out and bring it back for the community. Tonight, our 3 players and one NPC, one non-player character, are going to be going out to a supply run to help out our little community. So now I think it's time that we meet the players. Would anyone like to go first and introduce the characters? Before you do that, remember that any secrets that were on your character sheet, you can keep those secret. Just describe them as if someone who had been in the community for a month had sat down and had dinner with them one night. All right.
Okay.
We have. Oh, there we go. Greg's on first at bat.
Okay, my name is Frank Mulligan. We say we're married, so we'll leave it at that. Me and my partner. I'm 28. She's 27. I'm about 6'1", blonde. I have green eyes, well tanned, and I'm outdoorsy. In other words, I am an avid hunter and a survivalist. You know, I've been doing this for years, you know, stocking this and stocking that. I do have a 30-06 rifle, and I do have 2 swords that I had bought, and I call them fire and ice because one's red and one's blue, but there's nothing magic about them. That's just what they call them when I bought them. But one's red and one's got a blue blade.
When you
so
say sword, you mean like machetes or like?
No, I'm talking like short swords, actually.
Okay.
You know, I can go get them. I have them here, actually.
Of course you do. I don't know why I thought you wouldn't.
Yes, they're right in the next room. But anyway, so you want to see them, I can get them very quickly. But other than that, I really... Oh, and I got a 44 Blackhawk. And other than that, there's nothing fancy. I'm just ready to go.
It was Mulligan or what was it? Pelican?
Mulligan. Mulligan. Frank Mulligan.
Like a do-over.
Gotcha.
Right.
Like the do-over. All right.
Beautiful.
Pleasure to meet you, Frank. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. So my name is Henry Rockford, but people usually call me Hank. I'm about early mid 30s, 32 to 35 ish, and kind of wind scarred face, that like permanent action movie 5 o'clock shadow. There's a scar across my right eye, and I usually will be seen wearing like one of those aviator jackets, like the bomber jackets with the fur around the collar, or on the lapels, I mean. And there's like, it's not quite as pronounced anymore, but you can tell there's like the part around his eyes where like the skin is a little bit lighter. Where, like, he used to wear goggles there a lot. Back when you still had access to, you could still have access to vehicles more often because they weren't all broken down with dead bodies in them. I don't know if I can compete with a guy with 2-sword rifle, but I do have a set of brass knuckles that I found, that I've found have come in handy. I scavenged the first couple of days after everything went to hell, so I do have those on me if necessary.
All right. And last and certainly least, Brad, who are you playing tonight?
Hey, everybody. So I am playing Sam Goodwin. Sam is a middle-aged-ish fellow, 45 or so probably, got a little gray in his hair. Kind of a burly fella, wears jeans and flannel most days, and is a carpenter by trade. So he, is somebody who can help with walls and building structures, and knows how to keep things upright, and knows how to set concrete, I'm sure, and things like that, right? So that's sort of what he brings to the group. He's not super talkative, and little gruff sometimes, but he's been here for probably I don't know, a month or two, and does what he needs to do. Definitely seems to want to be a part of the community. Sam.
All right.
To add that I also am a very good mechanic, so I keep our vehicles and stuff up and running to the best of our ability.
All right. So your 3 names were pulled out of the fishbowl a day or two ago, and you've been set with a grocery list. Another individual who's joining you he's known around the campsite as Mouse. Actual first name Bill, last name Hawkins. But Mouse will be coming with you. He's basically the assistant quartermaster. Keeps track of the inventory. Good guy with numbers. Does a quick hand count. So he'll be accompanying you as well. Kind of a slender guy. He's in his late 30s, but he's still only got a pencil thin mustache, going a little gray. Fairly nondescript. Kind of keeps to himself. So Mouse will be joining you as well. So just to set the scene a little bit more, so we're currently in probably about three city block community, somewhere in a residential area, in a medium-sized town. Your community has been able to erect some wooden and metal walls in order to keep guard, keep out any zombie hordes from wandering in, and it's like I said, it's currently trying to get towards self-sustaining.
Self-sustainability.
That's the word I'm looking for. Self-sustainability. There's a few solar panels going up. There's some small trying to work on some chickens and some other small animals being able to be grown, and vegetable gardens as they're trying to claim more more residential blocks and extend it. But the community's been here for a little while. It's been here for about a year and a half or so, and they've been sending out these supply runs for a little bit. So all the near neighborhoods, all the near houses are pretty much picked clean. So you're having to go a little further and a little further out. You gentlemen, of course, could have met a couple of nights ago and decided what time you're going to set out. So I'll ask you what time of day you're going to set out. And typical of all the other supply runs, you'll be given a chance to pick vehicles and weapons before you go. So the first question is, what time of day do you? And you guys are going to be given a grocery list. Should go over that as well. You're going to be given a grocery list of 50 pounds of food, 12 gallons of gas, and 15 gallons of water. I'm just going to assume and allow that everyone's gotten to be a pretty good judge of poundages of food. Currency is not as much of a thing. People don't typically buy things. It's a lot more barter. And pounds of food tends to be a pretty good, hey, I'll fix your car for 5 pounds of food. I'll help you remodel your house for 10 pounds. So everyone's gotten to be a pretty good judge of like just by hefting a bag. Oh, that's 3 pounds. Oh, that's 7 pounds. So
50 pounds of food, 12 gallons of gas, and how many?
15.
15.
Got it.
Greg is in charge of our grocery list. He's going to be telling us when we meet all the criteria. And Kyle is going to be in charge of our clock. I should start using real names. That is to say that Hank is keeping track of our clock, and Frank is keeping track of our grocery list. So
Frank and Hank.
We did not plan those to rhyme. I wanted
No,
to make
I
that
know.
statement for the record.
You said yours. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh shit.
In other words, I'm always going Frank and Hank, and he goes Hank and Frank. So I mean,
Yeah. So
all right. And the last thing is, you guys will be allowed to get any supplies and food that you need to go out. The expectation is that you're going to go out, and you're kind of going to stay out until you get all of the food. If you come back and you're under your grocery list, the expectation is that you'll be leaving again in order to go complete it. You can go far, you can go wide, you can go for a week, however long it takes you. So could include overnights, could do it in one day if you get lucky. We'll see how the dice roll. So gentlemen, what time of day would you like to get started? Would you like to get started before or after light?
Before light.
I think it would be smartest if we started like as early in the morning as we're comfortable with, just so we can, see if we get lucky. We can do the whole thing in one day and get back before nightfall. I'm not sure how likely that is, but we can at least give it a shot. So if we start right at daybreak, that probably would be a good place to start.
Agreed.
We'll say it's kind of in the summer. It's summer-ish, so we'll call first good light about 7:15. Dawn might be just a little bit before that. So sounds like I'm hearing about 6 o'clock, 6:15.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So what season are? This just sounded maybe like it's a little chilly.
Summerish.
Summer. Okay. All right.
That means it'll stay light longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron's not the best with that kind of thing. Is 7 o'clock about the right time for sun up in summer?
Well, sun comes up earlier in the summer.
Yeah, it can be earlier. It can come up by 6:30, 6:45, right around in like mid-July when the days get really long.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's call it 6.
early.
Let's call it 6:30, and we'll say you guys are meeting at 5:30 in the morning.
Beautiful.
Okay.
There we go.
One thing we did. Are we going to get a truck? Do we want a truck then, a pickup truck, or?
First decision is what time.
Right.
I promise we'll get there.
Okay.
No worries. All right. So you guys have dinner with Mouse the night before. Decide you're going to go out at like 5:30. Everybody, I'm going to assume that everybody goes to bed early to get plenty of sleep.
Better. I'm not saying I necessarily get sleep.
That would certainly be understandable. You're about ready to, risk
Give us
life
as
and
much
limb.
time for sleep as we possibly can, whether we actually get sleep or not.
Yep.
With the constant undead moaning going on out the window.
Well, this
No.
colony isn't particularly under attack on a daily basis. Does happen, but it's been a couple of days since the last little herd came by and got cleared out. But come about 5:30 in the morning, you guys start making your way to the front gate. The community has a large front gate that can be opened to allow like 2 or 3 cars to pass through, and that large gate has a smaller gate which can actually be gone through just by people. So you can open up just a smaller door inside the gate for just people to go through. Typically, for these supply runs, you gather at the front gate, and that's where the weapons and the vehicle options will be made. Is anybody late, or is everybody on time at 5:30?
On time, baby.
So something happened that the night before where I'm definitely on time. Trying to get away.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so everybody's on time. So Mouse pulls up just like 2 minutes late. You know, he's kind of putting his shirt on. You know, you can see his shoelaces are untied, but he rolls up about 5:32, and he's there. Like, hey guys, sorry about that. Waiting there with one of those like almost novelty size large mugs of coffee. Seeing as how government is kind of broken down, names and driver's licenses aren't really being issued or checked anymore, so sometimes people just go by nicknames. Your community leader's name is Bullet. She is a rather athletic woman. Basically, picture somebody who like is in the gym every single day and is constantly, making the most of their gym membership. But a little bit older, late 30s, maybe early 40s. She's got some pretty short hair, and her gym training just helped her be ready on spot and help build this community. But yeah, she's just got just one of these comically large coffee mugs, and you can see the steam coming off of it, so it's obviously full. Morning, gentlemen. Ready to get this day started?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Ready to get this day finished, so I guess that has to come first.
she's giving a little bit of a side eye to Mouse, saying, "Good to see that you're all on time." All right. Mouse is kind of hiding under his hat a little bit. Bullet says, "Well, you gentlemen know the drill, but just in case you're too bleary-eyed to remember, you guys can have your pick of weapons, and then we'll get on to choosing your vehicle." And so she gestures over to the weapons rack. On the weapons rack, you can see every flavor of anything that you could commonly find in a hardware store or a sporting goods store. There's baseball bats, there's tire irons, there's like I said, if you can find it in a hardware store, you can find it in a sporting goods store, it's there. The baseball bats are every flavor. There's some with barbed wire, there's some with spikes, metal, wood, whatever you could probably come up with, it's there. Also, this is a chance to pick any tools or equipment that you want. If you want first aid kits, if you want pliers, hammers, anything like that, as well as weapons, if you'd like to take guns or bullets or anything like that. And as Bullet gestures over towards the supply rack, she says, "And I'll remind you, if you gentlemen take any bullets or ammo, that might add to your grocery list if you don't bring it back unspent."
Only thing I'm going to do, how many extra bullets? We got a box of bullets for the 30-06.
You could certainly take a box of bullets for that if you want.
Okay, I'll take one box.
All right, one box of bullets. So Bullet will
Everything
say,
else, I got my swords and that
Yep.
kind of stuff.
So Bullet will say, "So that box of bullets, if it comes back missing any, we'll need a little bit more poundage of food. If the whole box is empty, we'll ask for 3 more pounds. So if you spend all of it, bring back 3 extra."
Dang it!
If you don't shoot nothing,
I hope I don't have to. I'd rather use my swords. They don't require
Sure.
bullets.
You gentlemen, Mouse walks over and he just picks up something probably pretty pedestrian. He picks up a crowbar. A little bit of versatility. Picks up a crowbar, like a pair of pliers and like a hammer, and probably like a survival knife. Picks up like a survival knife and like an empty backpack. There's all flavor of backpacks there.
I got my basic tool set also sitting beside me, so whatever vehicle, I'll just throw it in the vehicle.
Sure. But that's what Mouse is taking with him. He's taking a tire iron, a survival knife, a pair of pliers, and a hammer, and an empty backpack.
Yeah, I'll also take one of the survival knives. Are they like pocket knife size knives, or are they like Bowie knives?
They're every flavor. It is take your pick.
Okay.
What do you want?
I'm gonna take I guess it's probably could still be. I want to take one of those knives that's almost a machete, but not right on the verge of being a machete, but it's still technically a knife. And then I'll take one of those baseball bats wrapped in barbed wire. And then Is there a crossbow available?
Sure. Again, if you take ammo for it and you don't bring it back, it'll be extra pounds of food, but you can certainly grab a crossbow and as many bullets as...
I want something that's a projectile but doesn't make as much noise. So I'll take the crossbow, and let's say I'll take 10 bolts for it, and hopefully I don't have to use most, if not any of these, but just in case, I'll have them.
Yep. Bullet
And
says...
then as far as tools, I'll just find like if there's a big double-sided wrench, and then maybe like a is there one of those screwdrivers where you can change the bit so you don't have to get like a separate Phillips and flathead thing? One of those too, just in case.
Absolutely. There's also like some like those generic Walmart home kits with that comes in like the flimsy plastic.
Okay.
But they're pretty light and they've got a little bit of everything in them. So you see some of those.
Yeah.
And I do pick up a backpack, of course.
If there's a set of bolt cutters.
Now those I do, little ones I have in my...
I'm going to shove them in Mouse's empty backpack and like, here, carry these for me.
Hey, well, all right.
Yeah, so hang on a second. So a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, I got on my list too. So and I do intend to carry. So like the bolt cutters, I'll carry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Real quick to make sure, you're talking about the big, no kidding, red, like 3 foot long, snap anything in half.
Okay.
Through,
like,
okay.
That's not what I got. With these fucking things. Yeah. I want one of the big ones.
I
just got a little one.
Yeah. So
in my kit.
Yep. I hope you guys are writing down what you're taking. That's up. This is your equipment, up for you to keep track of it. I'm not writing it down.
I got mine.
Yep, anything. Your kids in candy store. Tell me everything you're bringing, but if you don't say you don't bring it, then we'll have to negotiate for it later. Now's your chance.
Do we have to say we're bringing water and food?
You will be given some. You'll be given 2 days worth of rations to start. If you're going to take more than 2 days worth of rations, you'll have to bring back more pounds of food. But you'll be given 2 days worth of rations.
Okay.
Can we have a tent?
Not standardly, but you could take one.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Can we pick up a tent?
Sure.
I imagine that most times we would just break into a house and, stay in a house or something.
Oh, but I want for that spur of the moment, type deal,
Sure.
that we couldn't find a house.
Okay.
I know way my luck runs. Not very good, but and like I said, and a source of cooking and that kind of stuff, just basic stuff, not anything elaborate or. I do bring my Dutch oven because I know how you all like my cherry cobblers.
Okay, you sold me on the Dutch oven.
On that same note, then, as part of our standard gear, would we have like a box of matches or something, or like a lighter?
Yeah, you can have a box of matches or lighter for free. Yeah, no.
I feel like you guys think we're going camping or something. Like we're going to sing songs and.
I'm a survivalist. I sit there and think along these lines.
I understand.
In case of
It's
emergency.
warm weather, right? We got rations. We're not going to be doing a lot of cooking.
Or a match for something. You absolutely never know.
Yep. Brad, I know you haven't had a chance, but let's clear up everybody else's ones that I have a question about. So, Greg, you said something about it. I'm sorry. Frank, you said something about a tent. Are you thinking like individual one-man tents or one of those quote-unquote four-man tents that you have to be very friendly to get 4 men in?
Individual. Like I said, I carry a little buck tent on, underneath my backpack. That's no problem.
So you're just taking a tent just for you.
Right. Yeah, like I said, for emergency purposes. I'll make everybody else carry the food and the stuff. Oh. No.
All right, Brad. What's your shopping list? What you're grabbing?
Okay, so of the stuff here, I take a bat. I take the big bolt cutters. I have some other tools myself. I have wire cutters and a small tool set. We'll take one of these crowbars, and I will take a pistol with a box of ammunition, the 2 days food and water, and I have a backpack. and that's basically it. So no extra clothes, no extra shoes, nothing like that. I expect to be back within a couple of days myself, and I don't expect we're going to be cooking anything, so I'm not bringing any pans or anything like that. But if somebody is bringing pans, sounds like Greg should bring stuff to cook with, then great.
Yeah,
I would be a
sounds
little
like-
concerned about getting attention, to us through smoke or smells or things like that. So
Sounds like Frank's going to have at least one pan with him. Probably is a good, cast iron pan. It's a favorite of his.
yeah.
And I know that you can get small propane bottles from Walmart that have a burner attachment that screws
Right.
right on the top of it.
Right.
And that's for size, for size and output. That's probably about your best small thing. So yeah, it's just a tiny little tube of propane. They come about this big. It's a metal can, and you just screw on the burner to the top of the propane stove, and you just adjust the flame from there. So it's the most compact burner I know of.
There was one
Hold up.
other. Oh, sorry, Brad.
No,
go
Well,
ahead.
I totally forgot. A mag light and an extra
I was just
tube
gonna
of
say, I
batteries.
want a big ass flashlight.
The ones that double as clubs.
Yes.
I gotcha.
Yes.
Yes, one of those.
Yep.
And then the other thing I wanted to look for, I don't know. Let me ask you this first. How is this town that we're in? Are we all familiar with the layout? Do we? I was gonna say I want to get a map
Map.
and
Sure.
a compass.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple of maps. Yep. And not only do they have maps of the town, but a lot of the areas that have been scavenged they're also updating it with scavenged. So as you look at as you look at the map, you see the big residential neighborhood that you're in, almost every house on every block and everything has got X's on it. They've almost all been picked clean. Downtown, there's a couple of buildings that have got question marks on them, a couple of buildings that have got X's on them. There's the gas stations are labeled. There's 2 or 3 outside of town, and there's one downtown in the middle of town. So yeah, you can have a map, and not only that, but it's updated with the best guess at how looted it's been.
I want to take
Now,
a quick second just to ask anyone in the chat. There are a few people in the chat. If you have any suggestions on gear that we haven't thought about, please chime in, and we'll make sure and add that. So.
No fair. That's perfectly fine.
Someone
Help them out,
said
they're
it.
going to need it.
Someone said a foam.
Survival tonight.
Someone said a foam
We're gonna
sword,
do
and I
it
think
for
that's probably not gonna make the cut. So.
No.
All right. Any other equipment? We'll get to vehicles, but any other equipment? I would also ask you, what about med kits? Does anybody want to bring a med
Oh
kit?
yes, definitely, absolutely.
Okay.
First aid kit. A basic first aid kit.
I was just going to be assumed, but if that's going to be something we need to actually say out loud, yes, I will want to get a first aid kit.
Okay. That you can get. We're just going to make it nice and simple. You get small, medium, or large, and it's the same thing as ammunition. If you bring it back unused, there's no extra charge.
Well, that's the hope.
Yeah, that's the hope. But if you do end up having to break into a med kit, you'll need to bring back a little bit more food or water.
What more would a medium have in it that a small wouldn't have? What's the difference?
Let's trying to keep things simple. We'll say a small kit can treat 2 injuries that are not severe. So a small can treat 2, a medium can treat 5, and a large can treat 10.
Okay, I'll take a medium.
A medium? So that would
Take a
treat.
medium also.
I think I said that treats 5.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So mediums are 5s. Okay.
Do they come with snake stuff and that snake venom,
Sure.
yellow and all? Okay.
Just one dose each. Just one dose of antivenom each.
Okay.
2.
So the chat is suggesting bird whistles, but that's because they don't understand that we all are expert bird whistle imitation people. So yeah.
Of course, yes.
This is sponsored by Duck Dynasty.
You guys can absolutely have a bird whistle. Again, this is basically the most well-stocked hunting, survival, or sports
Really?
equipment that you can think of. So you can grab a couple of bird calls.
Pro shop, apparently.
Yep. All right. For those med kits, just to cover it, if you completely expend a medium med kit, you're going to need 8 more pounds of food.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's if you
shit.
completely use it. If you half use it, then it's 4. If you don't use it at all, then it's 0.
Okay.
So I think you've got 2 boxes of ammo, which, if completely emptied, cost 3 each for a total of 6. And you've got 2 medium med kits that will heal 5 injuries, and if completely depleted, will cost an extra. Did I say 8?
Yeah.
Yeah. Per.
The ammo was how many did you say? The
3.
ammo of used 3. Okay.
You said the same thing about the bolts for my crossbow. If I use 10, how many extra pounds would that be?
Another 3. We're gonna keep it nice and easy to calculate. Nice and 3.
Perfect.
Bolts.
Hey, I listed my gear in the Dread channel.
Sure, that's excellent.
That's too much like work.
All right. Anything else before we get started? Before we get to vehicles, actually, got to get vehicles. Bullet just sits there,
I will say,
sipping on her coffee.
If I need to say I have a backpack to carry this in, so I'm not like with just a bundle of stuff under each arm. I'll just say I have a backpack to carry it in.
Hey,
Right.
so the chat also mentioned like a football helmet or a hockey goal uniform, and I myself would rather travel light and not with all of that type of hot and can't hear well. And
I just got my camo hunting stuff.
Extra
on.
rolls for vision. I like it. Take a football helmet. All right. If you guys have got most of your equipment, then as you guys are piling all that into your backpacks or whatnot, then Bullet's going to gesture over to another box, and in this box is all of the containers to take the liquid. So in this box, you see a ton of like the 1-gallon milk jugs, and they've all been like overlapped with electrical tape, so that they can be squashed and they can be accordioned over and over again without spilling. So you can, you're pretty much expected to take about 15 to 20. No, not 15 to 20. About 30, in between 30 and 40 1-gallon milk jugs, and they're completely, smashed, so they don't take up a lot of space. And you can take as many 5-gallon. They've gotten some 5-gallon collapsing jugs as well. So same deal, wrapped up in duct tape so they won't pierce easily. I'm not going to be completely a jerk and try to do that, but you can take a couple of 5-gallon collapsible plastic containers to carry your liquids as well. So we'll just, unless you say otherwise, I'm going to assume you have 30 of the milk jugs and 2 of the 5 gallons, unless you want more.
I think that
sounds
sounds fun.
Okay,
Well,
30 milk.
like I said, it kind of depends on what we're going to carry it all in.
Well, that's the last choice. So as
Okay.
you guys have kind of got a decent pile of stuff at this point. Even the milk jug's flattened. I mean, that takes a little bit of space though. That might be its own backpack. So then Bullet gets onto, all right, last decision for you fellas. You got to figure out what you're going in. Would you like bicycles? And she points over to like this exhaustive rack of bicycles. Or would you like to take a car? We've got motorcycles, pickups. You want a 4-door sedan? I don't think the Tesla's quite up and ready just yet. She chuckles a little bit.
it's still charging. Somebody riding a bike charging it.
But before you get too antsy, I'll remind you, you're gonna have a half a tank of gas, and if you don't bring it back at a half a tank, you'll need more food. But at a half tank, it'll hold some of your gas as well. Or you can take bicycles. Now, for the bicycles, you can get ones with front baskets, you can get ones with back baskets, and there's even 1 or 2. If you've ever seen those little side cars that ride behind the bicycle, that you can like put a couple kids in, and they can just ride in those little side cars. You could also get 1 or 2 of those, and that should give you, even if you go on bikes, you should have plenty enough room to carry your groceries.
Quick question. How far out have we already cleared out? In other words, how many miles have we already cleared out?
Sure. If you are going into like downtown, you're probably looking at like somewhere between 5 and 10 miles, not too far on a bicycle. 5 or 10 miles, it'll take you a little bit of time. But yeah, anything less than 5 or 10 miles and it's pretty much been picked clean. So
I'm thinking we need at least a vehicle, but
I would
are
say
these good economy vehicles? I've been working on them now, fixing them up.
If fuel supply is going to be an issue, we probably might not want to go straight to the big ass pickup trucks. If there's just like a station wagon or something, that may be all we need.
sure, there can be a station wagon type. Well, not a station
Like a
wagon, because that.
normal like sedan or something. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking one of the whatever those hybrid SUV crossover.
Oh, yeah.
There's probably some crossover thing.
Okay.
I really hate to spend gas, but that's going to be the most efficient to get lots of stuff back. Because bikes. I think what we need though is like a flatbed truck, right? I mean, there's 3 of us. We could all fit in a cab. The bed of the truck would carry really whatever we would find.
Sure.
It's true.
Oh, trucks. That's good on gas.
Can I ask, are any of these vehicles, have any of them been like reinforced? So like the windows are, or any of the side panels are reinforced something so that they don't, like if for instance,
Hypothetically.
hypothetically, if like a horde of zombies came crash into the one side of this car, it's not going to like knock it over on one side and be totally worthless.
I get you. You're actually the first person who's ever asked that question. And probably what I would ask is if you would like a lightly armored car, meaning it will, stand up to a, little bit reinforced, a little bit stonkier than your normal car. I'd ask for a little more chunky. I'd ask for 2 rolls. If you want the equivalent of the suburban tank, something with grill guards and will just, you can practically drive over the thickest horde of zombies you can think of, I'd ask for 5.
Okay.
So
I'll just do 2.
2? Sounds good.
I'll do 2 since I've been working on the vehicles.
Too hard, too fast. Yeah, I'll
you guys
just
could
roll
share.
2.
You guys could share it 1 each.
Okay.
But,
All
well,
right.
like I said, I'll do. So you do 2, I'll do 3. I want the heavy one.
Oh, you want
the 5?
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, what about?
I'll
Hold
do
on. Hey,
that.
whoa. What about the fuel economy
3
thing?
more.
Yeah, but does that would have been my next question? How in the full tanky one, how fuel economy would it be?
Are you going to penalize us for the weight?
Right.
We'll try to keep things simple. If you're just going to town and back, if you're not going far, let's not worry about it.
Yeah.
If you guys are going to visit like the outlying farms, if you're going to get on the highway, then yeah, you're probably going to need to get like a couple, fill up the tank and maybe get some extra gallons of gas.
I'm hoping we won't need to go that far.
And we'll go with the light then. We'll go with the middle one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just do lightly armored. Okay, so I'll roll once.
Right, and I'll roll once.
Oh, I have to. Whoops. Hold on. I hit the up arrow and I didn't do the thing.
That's okay. Our
I have to
first
get
rolls
back
of the
and
game.
I put my gear in the chat and I have to go back and redo that now.
Okay.
Also, this will probably be a pretty good time. So we're almost to 8 o'clock. So somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, if I can remember. Probably inching a little closer to 9. We'll try and take a break. So we got our first roll at 56.
And it's a D90.
Yep. And a 19. All right. So yeah, you guys tell me, just kind of describe for me a lightly, something that's been reinforced, but not completely out to the gills.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was like, if we're looking at getting one of those, like the crossover hybrid SUVs, just for the sake of having more space to carry stuff in, or even one of like a not like a super duty, but like a flatbed pickup truck. It would have like maybe somebody would have welded some sheets of metal to the outside of the doors. The axles would have been strengthened so it wouldn't roll over quite as easily. I guess the windows would still be the weak point. I almost want to say like the windows would be replaced with less breakable glass. I don't know if we have the technology to do that. But yeah, mostly just like it wouldn't roll over as easily. It's not gonna get it's a little bit more impact proof, and it's not as you can't like wrench the doors open from the outside. You know, it's not gonna the locks are more sturdy on the doors, so that something that may be trying to get in, hypothetically, would have a harder time getting into somebody who's inside.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta tell you though, I'm honestly, I'm more concerned about people that we're going to encounter. The zombies, I think we can get away from. Have we talked about the types of zombies that are in this world?
We're going with our standard like Walking Dead, so they're
Okay,
they
Romero
get to a little bit of a
shambling, can't
Okay,
open
so
doors.
Romero less Danny Boyle. It's not like 28 days later.
no runners.
Yeah.
They might get up to a light jog at best, but not a
They'll leave
nothing's
some
going to
body
be running you
parts
down
behind.
the highway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, chances are we'll be able to avoid zombies largely, like driving around. But if we encounter survivors, then that's a whole other thing.
The zombie threat is more in numbers and persistence.
Yeah, and that's also part of why if we had some extra plating on the doors, they would be harder to shoot through, possibly, especially over the gas tank and around the engine.
Sure.
And then maybe they found some way to make the tires harder to.
Well, do you guys want to pull a few? How many did you pull? You pulled 2, right?
We pulled 2.
Well, why don't you just do the extra pulls? I'll pull 1, because it was 5, right, for the big tank, or was it? How much was it?
5 total.
5, yeah.
5.
Oh, I would pull 1, and you guys could pull 1 each, and then we would have what you're looking for.
Sure.
Also wanted to have 4-wheel drive.
All right.
And we did just start. What the hell?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Pile in there, and then describe for me your ultimate zombie machine.
Okay.
And I'm assuming for tires we can do like some kind of like run flat tire. Where it's not. Yeah.
Hard tires.
Got a 78.
78. 59.
Oh, I don't like this. All
Greg,
right.
you're clumping in the 50s. That's.
I know.
And 28. But the other numbers are all landing in various places.
I would also like to have, like, if we could have mounted maybe like a bunch of rebar as like spikes on the front,
Sure.
and then like the hubcaps have like the spikes on the hubcaps. I'm thinking full on death race here.
Aaron's
Go
like,
for it.
sure.
Yeah,
Whatever you want.
guys made the pulls for it. You paid for it.
Aaron's thinking, I'm gonna be the one driving your car with my bad guys anyway. So yes, whatever. Lasers, sure. Whatever you want.
Yeah,
Your resource to lose.
I think it was Greg who mentioned 4-wheel drive would probably be a good idea to look for. So like, something like that. But yeah, so if you can't shoot through it, the windows have been replaced with just like enough of an opening to see out of. But other than that, it's covered over, so you can't like break in through the glass window.
I'll do you one better.
We're not gonna be able
I'll
to
do
see
you
out
one
of this
better. So, on the sides of the doors, you said that there was like metal. On the sides of the door, the metal like reinforcing the doors so you can't just easily shoot through them.
Yeah.
In addition to that reinforcement, they also put in a hinge. So there's an extra sheet of metal that's folded down, and there's a cable system inside the car. If you pull the cable system, it hinges up and covers up all the windows. And that same cabling system slides a sheet of metal with that thin slit that you're explaining, slides a piece of metal out in front of the front and rear windshield. So you've got a cable system so you can turtle up.
Turtle up.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I also want
Turtle up.
a hatch on the top, so that
Escape
we can
hatch.
have somebody
Yeah.
up there. We can have somebody up there who can actually see well, and then get inside if
And that same hatch has even got like some sheet metal and some like corrugated steel to like make a little nest. So yeah.
Okay, so this is like maybe an old Humvee that we got from the armory or something, and we're
Sure.
Or,
Yeah.
Or just like a Jeep or something. Yeah.
Let's go with an old military like an old honest to goodness military Humvee, not the
not a Hummer.
not a Hummer that you'd buy at the commercial civilian. That's where not a civilian, an actual full on military Humvee.
Have we got that M50 sitting on top?
No, not the M50. We're not going to go that far.
Dang.
We wish. We wish.
Try.
Yeah.
If you'd like an M50, we can pull for it.
No, because he's gonna make us come back with the M50 bullets if we shoot any.
Infinite pulls for that.
All right.
No, yeah, you don't have to go that far.
Sure.
But
And we're even because of that cabling system and all the metal that it's actually nicknamed the Turtle. So there you are,
right.
Good.
Bullet sitting there, sipping on her coffee mug, and she's like, "So what's it gonna be? What you gonna take out?"
Turtle.
Hey, well, I don't think anyone's checked out the turtle, have they?
Oh, it's been a spell, but I think she's ready to go. She, looks up one of the guards and says, "Hey, signal the auto pool to bring around the turtle. Make sure it's a half a tank or better for these gentlemen." And like Roger, one of the guys up on the thing, he's like, he nods his head and he takes out a little flag and does some flags the other side.
One with a turtle on it.
Yep. It takes about 10 minutes because not everybody asks for the turtle, but it takes about 10 minutes, and you guys are packing up backpacks and gathering up everything and checking the maps and everything. But after about 10 minutes, you hear that low rumble as it comes through the compound, and boom, 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 and up drives the turtle, this old Hummer SUV with all the spikes and the paneling and everything. Your hatch.
Yeah.
One of the guys jumps out, hands you guys over the keys, and you're able to pack up and you can get going.
All right.
Who's driving?
I'll drive.
Hatch.
Okay.
I'm just riding along, guys, not me.
Oh yeah, there's four of us. That's right.
Yeah. Mouse is looking a little bit nervous. She's like, "All right, any last questions, gentlemen? You've got your list. 50 food, 12 gas, 15 water. The gas station downtown off of Main Street and 13th. Last time we checked, it's should be topped off and full. So if you head there, you'll probably be able to knock off your gas in one easy stop."
Sure.
Maybe let's go there first. Hey, you
Sounds
said we
good.
had 30 mil jugs and how many 5-gallon jugs? Or what'd you say? Two?
2 5-gallon jugs.
Okay.
So you guys can hold up to 40 gallons.
If we take 3 of those 5 gallons, we could just put all the water into the 5 gallons.
Yeah.
Sure.
That'd
You want
be
to take
pretty...
an extra one? Sure. Take 3 5-gallons.
Okay. Done.
Right.
Beautiful.
And again, they're the plastic collapsible ones, but they've been reinforced with
Now,
electrical
are we
tape.
supposed to
So
put gas in those too, or do we have separate, like the red plastic gas can?
they're all they try to keep them fairly clean and flexible for whatever you want. Don't worry. Yeah, if you can, as long as you don't mix them up when you're filling them, you should be fine.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Gas
Cool.
station.
All right. You guys started at about 5:30. Did some equipment polls. Had a little bit of conversation. So we're gonna call it 6 o'clock. You got about half an hour before sunrise. So 6 o'clock in the morning. Turtles, sitting there lowly, rumbling. You guys are good to go.
Load.
All right. I'll be your spotter up here. Oh shit. Okay. Is it too late?
Shotgun.
Is it too late to add a piece of gear?
Nope. Sure. What you got?
Binoculars.
Sure.
There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Some legitimate field binoculars.
Wade, you're letting me down. You didn't mention binoculars.
All right. And you've got a set of binoculars. Okay. You guys are Bullet, lifts her cup, and as she lifts her cup up, the gates start to open just enough to let Turtle out. You guys have got the whole day in front of you. Where do you go?
Well,
Uptown gas station.
yeah, whoever's riding shotgun, I'll hand him the map and kind of like unfold it and go, here, navigate for me.
You got it.
How well does this thing handle? Is it like a pregnant rhino on ice or what?
That was a hell of a description.
It handles like a nimble rhino.
The Mako from the first Mass Effect is that it handled like a pregnant rhino on a frozen lake. So that's what I always would compare them to now. I've never forgotten that sentence.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, not quite that bad.
Okay.
I mean, the military wouldn't take pregnant rhinos out onto the ice. So,
Well,
we've also piled a whole bunch of extra crap on top of it now. So,
yeah, that's fair. No, it's obviously not going to take a hairpin turn very well, but
Now
it's
I
decently
got one
maneuverable.
question. Is the turret or whatever, is that from the back seat or is it from the passenger front seat?
Back seat.
Back seat. All right, so I'm riding shotgun. Right, you're in the back with Mouse. Of course, Mouse isn't sticking up through the turret at all, but
He seems a little hesitant. So
like fetal position in the corner.
no, I mean he's there. He's awake. He seems like he's ready to go. He's just not enthusiastic. He's not chomping at the bit.
he's our.
So
Sorry,
Meat
Mouse.
shield.
I'm going to apologize to Mouse in advance. Out of character.
We call bait. We call him bait. Okay, so
All right, I get you a route.
I get a handle on how well this thing handles. How much I have to push the gas to accelerate, how quickly it can brake, that sort of thing. And then we'll use the map and kind of make our way. Probably have to pick through a bunch of abandoned cars on the road and get out to that downtown gas station.
So you get behind Turtle, take like one lap around a block just to kind of get the feel for it, but still be close to the compound so that if there's any trouble, you're right there. Take a quick lap around one block, you get in the feel for it, and so you start. I think you're turning towards downtown to go to that gas station on Main and 13th. So the question I would have is, it's just a little bit pre-light. Obviously, you're not going to be able to go down any alleyways with the Turtle because it's a bit of a bigger boy. Are you just going to head down Main Street, just go right down the biggest street the town has, or are you going to try to take some side streets?
If it depends on what we know about the town. If there are opposing groups to us, and I don't imagine there are, but if there are, please say something. If there are known people that we should try to avoid, then it makes sense to take some back streets and to maybe be a little because this thing makes noise. But if there's not, then I say a direct route.
As far as your community knows, there are no established groups. You have other supply runs, and maybe even yourself on some of your supply runs. You have run into people. Some of those people were brought back and joined the community. Some of those people, just parted peacefully. Some of those people fought you for what the supply runners had. And there have also been nomadic gangs of people who have come by and attacked a supply run or have tried to attack the colony. So other people are out there, but no established in that skyscraper there's a community. So there's no established communities as well as
Okay.
But it's not impossible. Maybe a little bit unlikely to run into people, but it's possible.
And also the other thing that we would probably have some foreknowledge about is if any of the routes are just clogged. Like, is there a highway in town? If there is one, is it a death trap and to be avoided, right? Or that type of thing. What is because the congestion that's there now is not going away. So
or if any of the roads have a giant 12-car pileup right when everything started going crazy, and now you can't get past there.
Yeah, just to make things easy. Yeah, all of the major roads, there's no known blockages. It's a little tight like getting onto the freeways. If you try to get on a freeway, you might have to slow down a little bit and negotiate your way through. Might have to push one out of the way in the turtle, but that's something the turtle is up to.
And it's not like anyone's going to be mad if we drive over their lawn, because who cares anymore?
Right? So, as far as you know, none of the major roads are blocked. Now, if you start taking some back roads or go down an alley, there might be a car down there, but all the direct and major routes are unblocked.
So we will take a direct route to the gas station, taking major arteries, and manage it if we hit a roadblock.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys, you take your little test drive, go around the block, got the feel for it now, how touchy the gas is and how touchy the brake is. It seems like, the brakes have got a little, you have to go a little bit before it actually starts giving in. So it's a pretty soft brake. It's not real touchy. The gas
Better
is
know that now than when I really need to know it later. So yeah, good that I know that now.
Yeah, and the gas is in the middle. It's not, it's not barely touch it and it takes off, but you don't have to stomp it. So it's got a nice medium feel to it.
Okay.
Turtle is not for a Hummer. It has a decent acceleration, but it's a modified Hummer. It's not.
Yeah. I'm not trying to set like a land speed record or anything. I'm not going to try to drag race with it.
All right. So you guys start heading down Main Street, right down Main Street, headed to Main Street and 13th, right where that gas station is. As you guys start to get out of the neighborhood, the rumbling of the turtle. Somebody's up, whoever's, I think Sam is up in the crow's nest, up in the hatch, looking with the binoculars, and he does start to spot like a couple of zombies like perk up to the noise and start coming towards you guys. So there might be, you spot a couple of them like coming your way onto Main Street. Do you want to try to avoid them on the back streets? Just try to like mow them down?
When you say a couple, how many is a couple?
Sam sees 4 or 5, but there also might be, it might be stretched out herd. But he's seeing 4 or 5.
If it's a single digit, you can probably just push through them in this bad boy.
Sure.
Say for now, just keep going.
This is like a city street where it's 2 lanes, like a downtown, or what are we looking at?
So it's like 1 lane each direction with a turning lane, like one of those suicide turning lanes in the middle, and space for parking on the side. Yeah, so it's technically only 1 lane, but there's some and if you include the sidewalks, there's some generous amount.
Yeah. Okay. I think we got this. This is not something we would try to avoid, I think.
Sure. So you're just gonna.
I don't think we would try to mow them down. I think we would just try to maybe wind around them, or I don't know.
Sure.
You're driving.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it's just a handful, it's not going to be a problem for this thing anyway. So we can just try to ignore them at first and keep going.
All right. You guys continue on, head down the main street, and as you start to come up on them, you do notice that it's more than 4 or 5. It's actually about 7 or 8.
God damn it.
What I'm going to ask is, it's not a problem for the turtle to mow them down if you want to take a few minutes and like mow them down. I'd only ask for like 1 pull for the turtle to just mow them all down, because you guys have got the turtle. So I'll just ask for 1. You'll mow them all down. Mm-hmm. Or if you don't want to, then you'll only have like maybe 15 or 20 minutes at the gas station, because these guys are going to start following you. So if you don't take any pulls, the consequence is going to be you're only going to have 15 or 20 minutes at the gas station before they get there.
I've only taken 1 pull so far. You guys did 2. I'll be happy to take another to help navigate us through this from up here.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
You rev the engine a couple of times, kind of get them all clustered together a little bit.
Oh, before I should ask, manual or stick? Automatic stick.
It can be what you want it to be.
Okay. Well, if it's a military Humvee, probably going to be stick. Okay. So I'll shift it 1 gear higher and start trying to make work of these guys.
Absolutely. And everybody knows how to drive stick, even mouse. So I won't. Everybody knows how to drive a stick shift, no problem. Yep.
That's the least believable part of this is me knowing how to drive a stick shift.
All right. So you rev the engine a little bit, kind of clump them together. There's crunching. There's crunching and wet noises as the turtle kind of goes over them. A couple of them, get the hubcaps have got spikes on them, so they just like take them out at the kneecaps, and now they're just barely crawling on their chest. Back up over them, squishing, bursting watermelon effects everywhere.
Yes.
So you guys lose. So we were keeping track of time. You guys started out at 6 o'clock. All of that put together probably takes you about 15-20 minutes, and then it probably takes you about another, let's say, 7 minutes to get to the gas station. So 15 plus 7 onto our time.
6:22.
So it takes us to about 6:30.
Okay, I'll just say 6:30.
Yeah. So the sun is just starting to come up. We're starting to get those lovely dawn sunrise colors in the sky as you pull up to the gas station downtown at Main and 13th.
What's the situation here? Before we kind of get there.
Yeah, what kind of condition is that gas station in? I'll kind of like nudge your knee with my elbow if you're standing up and be like, "How's it looking?"
It looks clear. I see no zombies or survivors, and all the gas is arrayed out in 5-gallon jugs.
For us, we can just drive by and pick it up. No big deal.
How many pulls is that?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
20.
All right. So the gas station looks exactly like what you would expect it. Like some of the windows are broken out. There's a couple of cars that have been had their wheels pulled off of them. They're kind of been abandoned, things like that. The gas pumps have been like smashed or had their hoses pulled or whatnot. So the gas pumps themselves probably are not working. Besides, electricity hasn't been real great outside of the camp, so it'll probably be hard to run them anyways. Inside the gas station looks dark. Can't quite see if there's anything in there. But you're not seeing any individual zombies roaming around or any herds coming towards. So it's just kind of your typical kind of abandoned gas station kind of look, with 1 or 2 cars there in the parking lot.
Do we know how we're supposed to get the gas out if the pumps don't work?
We got a siphon pump thing. One of those.
Nobody said.
I knew when we got here that this is what was going to be the problem. I didn't want to say anything.
But I will give you a hand cranked siphon
Hey.
and some rubber tubing.
Wow, that is a jam right there.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. So your characters have done this before. Bullet is not a hard nose or a some type of jerk.
Is there enough room that I can kind of maneuver the turtle right up by where go like around the other side of the pumps to where like the store part would be, and kind of leave it not like in the parking space, but like parallel to the front of the building. So like some of us, like a couple people can be siphoning. I'm gonna go check and see if I can find any food or anything inside the place.
Sure.
Just real quick while they're out there getting that set up.
Absolutely, yeah. You can, yeah. You have to weave around one of the parked cars is a little bit in the way, but just kind of have to go, kind of swing wide and lip up on the sidewalk.
Maybe, yeah.
But you're able to park it there without much problem.
Yeah.
All right. So who's going after the gas and who's going into the?
I'm gonna have Mouse actually running the tubing, the crank, as I'm watching him, protect her for protection and so forth.
I'm helping Mouse.
Hank's going in.
Yeah.
I'm expediting. I don't think Mouse is the guy for any of this.
Pumping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm helping, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a quick sweep inside. I'm not getting my hopes up too high, but I want to be thorough. And if there's nothing in there, I'll come back out and help once I've checked inside.
Okay. So it sounds like Frank and Sam are grabbing the gas, and Hank and Mouse are grabbing the food.
Yeah, I'll kind of grab Mouse by the front of the shirt and like pull him out behind me.
I really think that Hank and Frank need to kind of work as a 2-person team, though. I feel they need to kind of stay together, but maybe not.
All right. So let's do the gas first. So Sam and Frank, you guys grab the tubes, you grab the hand pump. You obviously the pumps themselves, normal pumps that we would use on a daily basis, look kind of trashed and crashed. You guys go over to the metal capped holding tanks, and yeah, at first inspection it looks like they've got padlocks on them. There's a red one, a blue one, and a green one. Which one are you gonna?
We would by this time know what those colors indicate.
Well, green is unleaded. I mean, it's
diesel,
diesel.
probably, and then
Okay.
one is leaded, one's unleaded, something like
Right.
that. Okay. We would.
That's my one little check to see if you know what the green means. Green means diesel. Yep.
Right.
What do we need? I mean,
what is
it
this
wasn't
Humvee?
specific about what we needed.
Okay. Now the question I got: does a Humvee, military Humvee, run on diesel?
Typically,
That's a good question. Aaron doesn't know the answer to that.
Because I want to make yeah.
I have never had no one has ever taken out the turtle, so I'm not really sure.
I'm pretty sure they're diesel. I think that's because it's easier to maintain. You don't have to have the battery for it's the compression itself keeps the motor going. So
And as a mechanic, I would know. That's the only reason to say.
I'm doing a quick internet search.
Of course, the normal Hummers, I think, the commercial ones, I think they just use regular unleaded gas. But I would think the military, like you say, would probably be diesel, I would think.
Oh, interestingly enough, the first result that I got on my Wikipedia search or my Google search was that they use a special blend. So we're just going to call it diesel. We're not going to.
Fair.
A special blend. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
It's proprietary. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not get too deep in the woods. We're just going to say it's diesel. If the military engine takes a different fuel, they've swapped that engine out because they can't find that stuff. So they've swapped it out for a big diesel engine. So we'll just call it diesel. Make our lives easy.
All right. So we start with that, and that's gonna
Okay.
we're gonna fill up our tank so that it is no longer a half tank; it is a full tank.
Mhm.
And
Do they
I guess the
specifically
question-
what gas they want?
well, that's where I'm going with this. Do we have to get another kind of gas?
Again, this is the first time anybody had this. I think the expectation would be that it's either leaded or it's like leaded or not leaded. It's either unleaded of some flavor.
Mhm.
Because mostly this is going to be used in like home generators or
right.
for running other vehicles or things like that. So I think the expectation is unleaded. So I don't know. You could fill up the tank of the turtle, but I don't know if that's going to count against your gas.
Fair.
Since
Well, that just counts against it. We don't have to come up with extra food.
sure, no, yeah, absolutely,
And maybe next time we need it, it'll be full.
absolutely.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
we'll start with the diesel, take care of us of what we have to replenish, and we'll move on to the unleaded as a secondary option. So
All right. You make your way over to the diesel, the green capped one. Luckily, you did grab the big red bolt cutters. So you chunk that sucker right off. The lock pops right off. Opens it up. Yep, you get those gasoline fumes. So easy enough. You can start running that hand siphon and start filling that. You can fill up one of your a couple of your 5-gallon buckets and then just transfer them into the Humvee. Or did you park it close enough that you just run the line right to the Humvee?
I was thinking we would put it right into the Humvee because otherwise, I don't think we have enough.
It's going to miss the gas type deal. We don't
Well,
want to do that.
Most of the gas stations that I've been in the reservoir tanks aren't near the front of the store. They tend to be like off to the side. So do you want the Humvee near the tanks, or do you want the Humvee near the store?
I mean, once I get out, you guys could just jump in and move it.
Sure.
We locate it near the tanks because the
Right.
siphon lines aren't going to be super long.
That you could have also ported it. No, just keeping track of where everything is. All right. Back up the turtle a little bit, get it over by the tanks, start running the siphon lines, and you're able to fill up the gas tank in just a couple of minutes. We'll figure out the whole time you're here later for our time clock. So yeah, you start running the hand pump, and while one of you is running the hand pump, who checks the other gas tanks?
I'm running the pump, I guess.
Okay. So Sam is running the pump, and Frank checks the other tanks. Frank, you go over and you check the other tanks, the red one and the blue one. Come up to the first one. It looks locked, and you remember Bullet saying that there was plenty of gas. It was probably just a one-stop shop here. But when you reach down to like snip it with the big red bolt cutters, the lock kind of falls away and falls apart. And you just kind of move that off to the side, open it up. You get fumes, but it's not as strong. Take your big honking mag flashlight, shine it down there. Maybe drop a rock in there. Maybe there's some in there, but it sounds and looks empty.
Premium today.
Didn't catch that. You cut out a
I
little bit.
said no premium today.
No premium today, but there's still the other one. If you want to try that.
No, absolutely.
Okay. You go over to the other one. This time the lock is in place. But you got the big red bolt cutters. Snip that lock right off. Open up the tank. Open up the lid. Same thing. Bone dry. You grab the map. You check the map, and it's got there's a green check mark by the gas station. There's a green check mark with a word G on it for green check gas. And there's a question mark for F for food. So there's plenty of diesel, but it seems to be out of the gas you need.
Couldn't be that easy.
Fine.
Hey, boss, this is not good.
Let's update
Quick
the map.
question outside of the game here, but do we know how long it's been Zombieland versus how long it's been since everything started to now?
A solid year and a half.
Okay, so there's a lot of time for other stuff to have happened here.
Sure, but I mean, you guys go on these supply runs once a month, and the last the community knew.
Okay.
So yeah, a month ago, these things were 70-80% full.
Cool. Okay.
Somebody took
So
our
somebody has
gasoline.
been here.
It's clearly ours.
I told you to put up that sign, do not disturb.
So, shoot. All right, so we fill up our tank with the diesel.
Absolutely.
And that does not
Can we
help
get
us on
any
our
out?
15. Go ahead.
Can we seem to get it? We try to get some of the other out.
Sure. You get I'll give you 2 gallons. You get 2 gallons, but it's a struggle to get those 2.
Okay. All right. Did he find any water, bottled water, or anything inside?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking inside.
Absolutely. So we've covered the gas tank. So now let's kind of shift the camera over to Mouse and Hank. Yes,
Yeah,
Mouse and
I've got
Hank.
big flashlight in one hand with the brass knuckles on, and then the big knife in the other hand.
All right. You guys have done this before. Even though you can't see anybody, any zombies or any people, you're still careful. Crouch down a little bit. Go quietly through the door, or step through a broken window, kind of look down the aisles, doing all the checks.
Yeah.
Gas stations are kind of one of the first places that people will think of to go for food. So scattered amongst the various, canned goods and things like that, and bottled water. You can find a couple of bottles of water, not quite enough to like strike off a gallon just in and of itself. The candy bar section is mostly intact, so if you'd like to treat yourself, go right ahead.
Sure.
My apologies, something I did forget to mention. On these supply runs, you guys are given a grocery list, but anything you pick up that's off the list is yours personally. You can donate if you find things. You can donate them to the community. If you bring back an extra car, you could donate the car to the community. If you bring back an extra generator or a solar power cell, you can donate those things. And some of those donated things can take some of your food off of the list. But obviously, they don't want you to do the entire. Don't come back with 5 cars and say we're done. That because the community does need food.
Yeah.
So you can trade off some of the food, some of the water for things that you donate to the community. But anything you find starts off as yours personally. You're risking your lives, no questions asked. You can pick up stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
So, getting back to the gas station.
Twinkies.
If you want a Twinkie, if you want a ho-ho, a Mr.
funny.
Good Bar.
Twinkies are always around. I mean,
Sure.
Not in
It's
Zombieland.
still good. It's still good.
So Mouse grabs like a couple of Snickers bars because those are pretty solid for survival kind of settings. He grabs a couple Snickers bars, puts them in the backpack, puts one in his pocket. Hank, if you would like anything, you can grab any junk food you want.
Yeah, I'll take a couple of little snack foods. I don't know because it would really help boost morale if people had like snack foods available. So if I took, a bunch of this, could I use that to take some of that 50 pounds of food off the grocery? Because I know that would be considered like a luxury, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it would boost morale. People had like a candy bar or a bag of chips every once in a while.
So the question is going to be the space versus poundage ratio. So if you do want to grab like several boxes of candy bars, because you're right, that would be a morale boost. But it's not going to go 1-to-1. So if you want to grab like 7 or 8 boxes and kind of spend some time scraping together all the fast food, all the junk food, I'll let that fly for 2 pounds of food. But you're going to be taking up more than 2 pounds of food worth of space. So
probably not worth it. I'll just grab a
But
couple
you could
handfuls.
You could barter with it with other people. Yeah.
I'll grab a couple of handfuls of whatever I can get my hands on. Chocolate bars.
Sure.
If
Take a box. I mean,
A mixed box.
A box.
A mixed box in your own backpack for your personal bartering. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'll take a mixed box of candy bars. If there's like a couple of bags of potato chips, I'll grab a couple of those.
Sure.
And then I don't know if the refrigerators probably aren't working anymore, so any of like the bottles of soda probably wouldn't be any good anymore.
I mean, they're not cold, but they're probably still
It's
good.
a year and a half.
Oh yeah, year and a half.
Yeah, they're sealed though.
They are.
More or less.
I mean, when I was in college, I had soda that was more than a year out of date. I'm
Probably
fine.
wouldn't recommend the milk.
Well,
That might be a
no.
bad idea.
Right.
I probably grab like a couple 20-ounce bottles of Coke to for myself, and then
Sure.
probably just call the rest of it good.
Now, I didn't describe more than a couple of pounds of food. Do you want to make some polls for some food?
Hell yeah, you do.
Yeah,
And
I'll make a poll for some food.
and
Or you
this
said
is
some. How many is some?
right. I'm also going to mention. So if you get creative, if you come up with creative ideas, like look in places that all the easy places, like all the grocery stores, all the gas stations, they're going to be hit. But if you guys start getting creative, think of places where food would be that you wouldn't normally see food.
Like
Where-
a
yeah, where-
food pantry. Wait. Or like
Like churches.
a school
You know,
or a
like
church.
your
Yeah.
church. Yeah, there you go.
If there's a place that has a cafeteria in it, like a lot of like office buildings have their own built-in cafeterias. Like schools have cafeterias.
So that's
sort
just
of
me
thing.
reminding you, get creative, and creativity for coming up with places that water would be, coming up with places where gas would be that wouldn't be the first at the top of the list. All right,
Yeah.
so now back to the polls for food.
Can I try to look at back where like the loading and unloading dock would be for this
Mhm.
place? If there's like anything that's still in the boxes, like in the back room of this place.
Okay. Let's do the front of the gas station first before we get
Okay.
to the back. If you would like to find some food in the front of the gas station, I will give you another £2 for one pull. I'll give you let's see. Okay, I remind myself what your grocery list is. I'll give you £2 for one pull. I'll give you £7 for three pulls, and for let's say for 9 pulls, I'll give you like £10. So
What?
I don't-
This ratio
Nine
is really wacky.
Yeah.
what was it, like 1 for 3 and 3 for 5?
1 for 3. All right. I'll make one pull for 3 pounds of food.
Sure.
I didn't figure on finding any much more than that anyway. I was just trying to make sure it was.
And this is
being
just the
fair.
first place you stopped.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of night, plenty of
Yeah.
day.
I'll make one.
Okay.
So
17. All right, mark that off. Yep. So you go looking through, and in like the freezer section, like where the beer and the sodas were kept, as you're grabbing your 20 ounces or stuff, you spot like a box or something that's in there. You go in there, and there's like an entire box of like Dinty Moore, beef stew cans. Somebody's got in there and taken some of them, but there's easily like 4 or 5 of them left to count for 3 pounds of food.
Cool. I'll
So that gives us 6 now.
6 total. That sounds about right.
we'll grab those.
Sure. Throw those cans in your backpack.
Throw those cans in there, yeah.
All right. And as you're throwing those cans in your backpack, you hear some noise outside, and you hear some noise in the gas station, and you look through the coolers, you look through the doors of the coolers, and you see Mouse like kind of hustling a little bit and like flattens out against the wall, and he's looking a little bit surprised.
Okay. I'll try not to say anything, but I'll like make eye contact with him and give him like the little, like the what's up
He like
gesture.
points to his ears like,
So is he hearing something outside of the building or inside somewhere?
inside. He's pointing to the back rooms. So as you come out of the cooler and like wander over, and you start kind of looking towards the back, looking towards the loading, and the door to like the back rooms, I keep wanting to say loading bay, but grocery stores don't have loading bays. Just like the back room, the stock room.
Yeah, stock room.
Yeah, you see like like some shelves where you would just put groceries and things, just boxes and supplies and things. And there is like a little room, like just walled off little corner, and it says like break room, and you could kind of hear like something pushing up against the door. So like the door is like trying to be opened by something inside the break room.
All right. Well, I think we've probably found about as much as we're going to find in here. So probably leave them to it.
Yeah.
There's
Now,
one
and looking-
guy, just one guy. Take care of him. There's a mother load of food. You wait.
I'm
Looking
not
in-
going to seek it out. If they come to me, that's different, but I'm not going to seek it out.
Yeah. Looking in the back, I mean, the door isn't being broken open. It's not cracking or anything. It looks in place, but yeah, there's something on the other side of that. There's no windows in this break room, but something is like slowly pushing on the door, trying to get out. Kind of scanning over the back room and kind of looking around. You do find one jug of water, just completely sealed on its own jug of water.
Done.
So
I'll grab that up.
sure, you can just grab that and mark off one more gallon of water. Now that's all I've described. Is there anywhere you'd like to check, or would you like to look?
Let me see here. Can I check like back behind the counter? So at a lot of gas stations, like the counter is walled off to as like robbery deterrence.
Mm-hmm.
If I get back behind the counter, maybe I could see like if I took some cigarettes or something, or chewing tobacco, maybe somebody would want to barter with that when we got back.
Sure,
What?
if you just want
I thought you said something, but it cut out.
Oil. Cans of oil.
Oh, okay, yeah, and whatever I can find back like behind, if there's like a sealed off like register counter. Try to
Sure,
get
if
back.
you want to, if you're just looking for a personal barter, yeah, you can get like a half a crate of cigarettes. And Mouse kind of like, is it safe? Is it gonna get out?
It looks fine as long as we don't go, don't go back there looking for it. I think
You want me to go get the guys? I can get the guys.
I think we can just get what we need and leave, and he's not gonna. That door is gonna hold. It's gonna be fine. It's probably just one. Probably just one of them back there.
All right. You almost see him kind of like, kind of fold in on himself a little bit and slink,
I also would
take
like
a couple
to,
steps away.
Yeah, I also would like to look just like underneath where the register would be, because sometimes people who run these convenience stores are armed. So if they left anything back there up for grabs that would make a handy weapon that we can just grab for free. Yeah, because I think if we get another weapon, that might be actually worth some weight of food if we bring back an extra weapon or some extra ammo.
That's fair. Yeah, you get behind the counter. You can grab like a half carton of cigarettes easily, various mixed kinds, some chewing tobacco just for your own barter. Mouse even picks up a couple of packs of cigarettes. If you would, I hadn't intended there to be a gun, but if you would like there to be a gun, I could. What kind of gun would you like to find?
So I've seen hundreds of videos of, well, not hundreds, but a lot of those like security videos of people holding like sawed-off shotguns behind the counter of those things as just like for intimidation. If I could find a sawed-off shotgun back there, whoever the guy who owned the store was holding in case somebody tried to hold him up, that's what my thought was going back there in the first place.
Okay.
Extra shells, of course.
Yeah.
Sure. So again, this is only the first place we've gone to. You guys haven't gotten too creative just yet. So for a shotgun and a half a box of shells, I'll give that to you for 5 pulls.
5 pulls? There's not that many pulls in the world.
Yeah.
First, you're not going to go to one place and just be done. Give me a little bit of credit. I got to string these poor people who are watching us along for a little while.
We're not even looking for guns. Although five pulls would be quite heroic.
I will say though, if you do donate the shotgun and the half box of ammo to the community, those 5 pulls will buy you 8 pounds.
8 pounds. Mm.
I mean, I'm trying to do the math here because there was a ratio of pulls for just finding food, and it was just about the same as that, if not fewer.
And it's not going to be a constant ratio because how creative you guys get and how good the idea is also going to affect it too.
Hey, I tell you what I suspect. I suspect that there is probably one dude back there in the stockroom, and there is lots of food that would count toward our allotment. That's what I suspect. Now, it is entirely possible that Aaron is a bastard, and there's actually 10 zombies and no food, but that's a risk. You know, if you're going to make 5 pulls, right, pull it for what's in the back.
I tell you what, guys, I'll go ahead and do 3 of those pulls. I'll do 3 pulls at this point.
You want to?
Yeah, that's what we wanted. Or do you want to go for extra stuff in the back? Any way you do it, I'll do 3 pulls.
I'm cranking gas, man.
All right. How about this? I'll
shotgun back there with the zombie.
I mean, we're already armed. for ourselves. I'll send Mouse back out. I'll turn to Mouse and I'll go. All right, look, go grab Frank from outside. If we're gonna clear this place out, I don't want to be just the two of us.
You're halfway finishing that sentence, and he's already running for Frank. He heard "Go get Frank," and he is out the door.
Okay.
Yep. So
You
Frank
said "Go get," and he was gone. I mean,
yeah. No, he caught Frank. He caught at least Frank.
But he was already halfway out the door when he heard Frank.
As he's already running away.
You're right.
So, yep. Frank, you're kind of keeping an eye out over Sam as Sam's hand cranking and filling up the turtle, and you see, not bursting, but like at a good solid fast jog. Mouse comes out of the convenience store, goes up to you and says, "Hey, Hank wants you."
He's so helpful.
What, Sam?
It's like a passenger pigeon.
He's.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Hank wants you.
Tell him, watch Sam's.
Oh, yeah, I'll stay here. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be much help, Sam, but...
I got this.
So anyway, okay, I don't know what he wants me for, so at this point, I'm just going in.
Yep, you head in. Mouse goes up to the front of the turtle and he's looking over the hood. Almost doesn't almost too tall. He's tiptoeing up a little bit and but he's kind of looking up and down the streets. He's keeping an eye out for anything coming down as you're top
Go get Hank or Frank, okay? No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And then
Hank.
when Frank walked in, I'm just gonna I'll have put the knife away and pulled my baseball bat out, wrapped in barbed wire, and I'll kind of point with it to the door that's kind of being bumped up against, and just kind of say under my breath, I think we got one room left in here that we haven't looked at, and someone's already in there. I wanted somebody to watch my back who would be a little bit more competent than bait outside.
I understand.
So you and your
All right.
fucking samurai collection want to take this thing out?
I pull out fire and ice.
Sure. Okay. You guys are prepared?
Yeah, Ned Stark and I are going to go take this thing out.
Absolutely. So you get up to the employee door. Yeah, it's kind of being pushed on a little bit. You hear it kind of pushing against the door frame a little bit. You guys are prepared for it. You know it's there. You kick open the door, and sure enough, there's just one zombie in there.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to ask. You guys were prepared for it, so I'm only going to ask for 2 pulls, one roll each,
Okay.
Okay.
to cleanly kill this thing without any injuries. So looking for those rolls. So fire and ice lops off some arms and some bits. Hank, I forgot forgot what you're wielding. Oh, that is a.
That's
that
a
is
double.
repeat.
I lost. Damn it.
Okay. And who was that? That
That was me.
that was
I've rolled
Frank.
most of those 19s.
good old Hank. All right.
No, Frank did the 20, I think. Or
No,
the
19. Nope.
No,
Oh, I guess it was. Okay.
that was me. I rolled the first 19 too, so that's
Yeah,
only
that's
fair.
weird.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
So
I
you guys-
thought it was me. Okay.
No problem. You go. You kick in the door, and since we got a repeat, turns out you were expecting 1, but it turns out to be 2. So you guys are fight. You're ready for it. So you took out the zombies. Each one of you paired off on one. Frank, you took your took fire and ice and cut off its hands, and then blocked its teeth with a blade, and then kicked it down and stabbed it. Hank, you were prepared for it, so it came in. You swung for the legs, took it out. But when you took it out from under its legs and it was falling, it fell towards you instead of away from you like you were expecting, and it fell backwards. And as you fell backwards, there was some broken bottles, some broken glass bottles, and so you ended up hitting the back of your left arm into some broken glass, and you've got like some broken glass from like broken bottles and things in the back of your arm, and you can feel those, and you grab your survival knife and just like jam it in the eye of the zombie, and force it in a little bit and keep it there until it stops moving. But you can feel the back of your left arm a little wet and warm.
Yep. Well, it's a good thing I grabbed this med kit on my way out, then, isn't it?
Sure.
All right, so I'll like roll over so it rolls off of me, and like sit up and kind of get like some bandages or something out of the maybe ask for some assistance in making sure I can, if there's any like shards of glass stuck in my shoulder, we can pluck them out, and then like get a bandage on that.
Yep. You take a little bit of time. The alcohol wipes or the peroxide burns, like kind of grunt through that.
Yep.
Frank helps you out, and Frank, you pick out a couple of not huge but decent pieces of glass in there. Get the peroxide in there. Run some bandage around his arm. So go ahead and use like one charge. Say two. Use 2 charges on the med kit. I think you guys have got like a total of 10.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Yeah. So you spend a little bit of time, cleaning that up and bandaging it.
When we get done with that, and I like get this zombie away, you see, I reach into like my jacket pocket and pull out what looks like one of those sanitary hand wipes. Rip open the packaging and like rub my hands like really, really hard with it, and then I reach back and like rub at where the wound was, and then I like crumble that up and shove it in my pants pocket.
Yep.
And then I get up and we take a look around, see what we did this for. If there's anything back here that made this worth it.
Sure. Yeah. So now you've got access to the employee break room. You kind of look around, and under, for whatever reason, there's some cabinetry or whatever in there. And you looking through those cabinets or whatever, you find a couple of boxes of like trail bars or like cliff bars or things like that. And that'll take off, there's several of them, so that'll actually take off 5 pounds. So 5 pounds worth of like trail bars or cliff bars or granola bars, those kinds of things.
Okay.
So you can mark off another 5 pounds.
Cool.
To 11 now. Woohoo! 1/5.
20%.
Yep. And it only cost you 1 wound.
So this was the break room, but there was like a stock area. Anything there?
The stock area had been gone through. They did find a gallon of water, like a fresh.
Oh, they were.
Jug of water
that was where the water was.
We had a whole water back there.
Yep, there's a jug of water. So unless you'd like to take me up on my offers of pulls for food.
Not anymore.
Fair enough. All right. Sam and Mouse, yep, you guys get the turtle all gassed up, pull up the hoses or whatever, maybe even like take a half a swallow of water and like spit it through the hose just to kind of flush it out a little bit.
So the tanks under the ground for the diesel, they're still got lots of diesel left. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we get ready to pull out, we will put it back. Try to put it back like it looks like it hasn't been screwed around with. Close the other ones back as well. And I take that back. I think we should leave those open.
Okay.
So that if anyone comes up, they may think that it's all been gone through.
Dissuade them from
Yeah.
Now, you did break the lock on the diesel, and
right?
nobody
But
said they
it's
were
like
bringing any.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And no one said they were bringing any extra locks.
Just putting it back so that it looks like maybe it's.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do your best job. I mean, if anybody comes up and looks at it, they're going to be able to see. But from a distance, from the street, it looks like it's locked up. All right. And at that point, just about your time you're finishing that, let's call that 30 minutes. So I think that puts us somewhere close to like 7 o'clock in the morning or so.
Okay.
I'll defer to the time clock, but yeah, let's call that 30 minutes. And you guys are sitting there waiting at the turtle for a few minutes. You hear some bumps or whatever, but you knew they were going in there to fight something. And, about 4 or 5 minutes later, right about 7 o'clock, you hear the turtle, and you hear the zombie, 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 out comes Hank and Frank, and you can see like a bandage on the back of Hank's arm.
Yeah.
And they're carrying like boxes of, Cliff bars and granola bars.
Good score.
Yep. Well, I'll take the gallon jug of water and the boxes of food and whatever we have and put it in like the trunk.
Yep.
Wherever the trunk area would be of the turtle. And then go get back in the driver's seat. Oh, hey, how much gas did we get?
Well, we filled up the turtle, but there's no regular, there's no unleaded. It's all gone. So basically none, other than what we owe back to the colony.
Wow.
Well, I take that back. We got 2. We got 2 gallons, but
we got 2. All right, I guess that's better than nothing. Didn't they say this place was like one-stop shop? We wouldn't have to go anywhere else.
Yeah, we've been fucked.
I was gonna say, Intel may have dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah, I think there's another player in town. Maybe they passed through and they're gone. I guess we'll find out. Where's that other gas station again? Look at the map.
Sure. Yeah, there's basically north, south, east, and west, all the 4 different directions. There are gas stations. As you get on the highway or as you leave town or whatnot. So there's 4 more. Just pick a direction. And as actually, all of them have got like question marks on them. Either someone hasn't been there recently, or to the best of their knowledge, not quite sure.
Okay. How about east?
East? Okay.
I don't east. No.
Sure. Would you like east to be towards the highway or towards just the outside of town and like some out towards farms?
I would say it depends more on distance. I would like the closest one. If they're all equidistant, then I would say highway.
Closest one is probably one of the ones that leads to the highway.
Okay.
So you head to the east, which is one of the gas stations that's close to the highway. Did you guys want to stop at any other locations? Don't forget your questionnaires. I seem to remember somebody had something that was downtown.
Is there any kind of
that might have been our other player that didn't join us tonight.
While we were thinking about that, I did want to also say that if Frank, if you're still sitting in the passenger seat in the front, when I get into the car, I'll take that wet wipe back out of my pocket. I'll wipe off the handle of the bat before I put the bat away, and then I'll like wipe my face with it. And then if I'm ever holding the wheel with just one hand, my hand is constantly like tapping a little beat on my leg.
Yeah. So it turns out what I was trying to remember was with our other player that didn't join us tonight. But someone did have
kind of stores or whatever are around this gas station.
Yeah. What would we know what we were? Does the map list what each building is as we go past it, or what do we see as we're going by?
I mean, it's a town. So any store that you think would be kind of logical to be in a town, like there's probably like a Walmart, one neighborhood grocery. There's probably a full-fledged Walmart or Kmart.
Yeah.
I'm looking more along the lines of like like a 5 and dime store or whatever. 5 and 10, what they call 5 and 10 or 5 and dime. Or
like a Dollar General?
Yeah, that'd work. Like a Dollar General.
Okay.
I think
Family Dollar.
I think Frank and I are thinking like downtown, small town, downtown. Rather than sort of a maybe suburban area. But
well, I mean, this town is a little bit
just
of a mix.
about every town has a Family Dollar or a Dollar General or something. They all have at least one of them.
And they've got everything.
Do we go past any like restaurants or even like fast food places or anything like that?
There are all they're your typical fast food restaurants. There's like a Taco Bell and a KFC and a Burger King and there's got to be a McDonald's. Every town has got to have a McDonald's. So yeah, you're fine.
I know one town that does it. They got everything else, but they refuse to let McDonald's in.
Oh.
Why? I don't know. but
Sure.
they actually refuse to let McDonald's in.
All right. Yeah. So yes, to answer the questions, yes. There's like Dollar Generals, Five and Dimes. There's some fast food
Okay.
gas stations.
And like I said, I will do it in like the Dollar General or whatever. I will go in there real quick.
Okay.
Or in like fast food places, we're definitely going in there to check for food.
Sure. And Sam, it's totally up for you. But was there anywhere in town that you wanted to stop?
My main thinking is to get the gas first, because I think that's going to be the singular rare resource that we're looking for. So that's I'm kind of focused on that. So I don't really have anywhere necessarily. There's lots of places we could go. There's probably a school, probably some churches, things like that. I think those are we could do them while we're down here, but I would rather get the gas out of the way myself. But
Sure, I got you.
Yeah.
So where are you headed? Are you headed to the gas station, or are you headed to the Five and Dime or the fast food?
Well, what I'm saying, if there's something there close on the way, I'm not
Yeah, if
going to
there's
go
something
out
on
of
the
my
way.
way to do it.
We can head towards the gas station. If we see something on the way that we think, oh, there might be some food in there, we can just stop and check it out.
Sure. Well, again, this part of this exercise is you guys telling me, coming up with those ideas. I'm not going to give you where all the hidden food is.
No.
But yes, so you start
if
heading.
we're on the way to the gas station, if we see like a Family Dollar or a Dollar General or, like you said, a school or a fast food place, we will check them, but that's not our main. In other words, we're not going to go out of our way to find them at this point. Like I said, gas is the most important.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, if there's a grocery store, like a grocery store, or you know, the Walmart or the Target or whatever, we can always stop and look. I do think though that those are the most obvious ones. If it's been a year and a half, that's probably going to have been picked over by now.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so you start heading towards the gas station on the outside of town, and yeah, as you're going towards there, yeah, you do start you pass like a Dollar General. You come up. Well, you're coming up on a Dollar General. You're coming up on like a Payless food store. What was a hardware store, sporting goods store. So did you guys want to stop at any of that, or?
Well, yeah, if there's a sporting goods store, we might as well stop and look and see if there's any. You know, there could be all kinds of supplies in there.
They could have dry rations in there and water.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about halfway to the gas station, because it was the close gas station. Yeah, you pull up on a strip and you see like Hallmark gift store, a sporting goods store, now you got me saying Five and Dime, a Dollar General, so and a Payless. All three of those are side by side.
A Five and Dime is telling you my age. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, so you pull up in front of. You've got those four stores in front of you: Dollar General, Payless, Hallmark store, and
I'm going to the Hallmark store.
I was gonna say, you know, the Hallmark store is gonna have what you're looking for.
Yes, I would assume so.
All right, so Frank, you're gonna peel. So you guys pull up, and Frank gets out of this. You tell him, Frank.
Well, like I said, I get out, close to and I'm going to go into the Hallmark store.
So Frank starts walking directly for the Hallmark store.
Frank, what's in the Hallmark that you want? Do you need a greeting card?
No. Well, me and the old lady kind of had a tiff last night, so I'm going to try to find her something in here.
Maybe there's some chocolates or something.
Well, that's why that's why I was on that couch and I was here on time today.
All right.
Remind me what all else is in this little strip mall we pulled into?
It's the Dollar General that we're looking for. That's why I was
Payless shoe store, Dollar General, Hallmark gift store, and a sporting goods store.
I'm going to check the sporting store.
We could split up and cover more ground.
Yeah. Split up, gang. Always split the party.
Absolutely.
Always split
we're about halfway through. I figured,
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
All right.
I'll take the Five and Dime. You take the Hallmark. You take the sporting goods store.
And then after the Hallmark store, I will go to the sporting goods.
Sure, I gotcha. So I'll say for the Hallmark store, there's like a broken window for the Hallmark. So you just kind of like carefully step in, taking a look through all of the display windows. You don't see anything or anyone moving around. But I mean, did kind of roll up in the turtle. So if there was somebody, probably
They're
would
hiding,
here,
yeah.
and they might be hiding. Hallmark store's got a broken window. You can go right through there.
I am going to sit there and have out fire and ice.
Sure. The 5 and dime, the windows are all there and the door's locked. For the 5 and dime, for the sporting goods store, it's broken out, but it's broken out from the inside. Somebody got in and like threw something through. So you see like a little, like in the gutter of the street, there's like a little pink 3-pound dumbbell. And then the door for Payless is also locked. So Payless is locked, and the 5 and dime is locked. The Dollar General is locked, and the sporting goods store and Hallmark has got the broken windows. Let's start with Hallmark because that's going to be the quickest.
Is it?
And most interesting. So.
Yeah, less interesting. Sure. 15 zombies.
Children.
No.
15 zombie.
They're fighting over the Beanie Babies.
So, Frank, you get in there, carefully make your way, look down all the aisles, kind of check around. You've done this before. You're careful. You don't see anybody. You don't see anything. Listen to the back room. Maybe even push the door open a little bit. Don't hear anybody. Don't see anything. Looks clear.
Now, also, I have been in a lot of Hallmark stores because I have worked for Hallmark, so I know their stores. So I know exactly in most of those stores where to go to find what I'm looking for.
Sure. I'm envisioning, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think most Hallmark stores probably have like a Precious Moments collection.
Right.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
So,
which can be used as a weapon.
What I'm going to offer you is, Frank, you've been with your partner for a little while, and she's talked about these kinds of things before, over dinner when likely.
Yeah, well, like I said, she was very partial, as I said in my deal, to angels.
Mm-hmm.
Type Precious Moments. A lot of times they'll have like an angel pose with the deal and everything. So yeah, that'd work. But she had to leave it all behind. So I'm trying to get a few brownie points.
This is a big win.
I understand. So here's what I'm going to offer you. Just for going into the Hallmark store, there will be, a little boy angel Precious Moments. So guaranteed one little boy angel. If you would like to make one poll, there'll be like a little boy and a little girl and a mother. So I'll give you just kind of the Joe generic
and for that
boy, girl, and mother.
Poll, will I sit there and get a way to wrap it up so it doesn't break real easy?
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
I will do a one roll then.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
But for three polls, I will give you the little boy, the little girl, and the mother, and the 3 Precious Moments angels that your partner has talked about that she got from her grandmother when her grandmother passed away.
3 polls.
You chicken.
So you'll get.
Oh, I've got to do it.
Sure.
This is a zombie apocalypse. You can't afford to be sentimental. Come on.
Hey,
so you'll have 6.
This is my woman, all right?
He's retained enough of his humanity to die because of it.
For 3 rolls, you're getting 6 angels, 3 of which are. She has described them in detail. They've got the same shirts on, the same colors. The glass container case that they're in hasn't been broken.
I'm not even going to look.
Sure.
I'm not even going to look. I'm just going to roll them, and you tell me if I die.
I understand.
We're a year and a half in. You don't even care if you live or die anymore.
It didn't break out the rolls, and we got a total of 130. Oh, there it is.
46, 52, 32.
Okay, there it is. I found out how to. All right, so 32 is good. 52 is good, right next to 51, and 46 is good.
How'd you get that? Where they at? Broke out at?
You click the little
on the
black spoiler bar, and it shows all 3 added up.
You do the what now?
You click on the black bar at the
black bar
under the blue dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
I don't know why they mark it like a spoiler, but that's how it is in there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there it is, the Precious Moments collection. The glass case, pristine.
getting laid tonight, or at least when I get back.
And not only do you see those 3 figurines that she got from her grandmother, the little boy, the little girl, and the mother, but as you're opening the case, you notice there's like a little space at the bottom of the case, and as you open up the bottom of the case, that's where the boxes are. So you've got the pristine boxes. You're able to put them back in their original boxes. Get them all.
Okay, cool.
I'm just going to point out that 52 is 1 away from a 51 that was previously rolled.
I understand this.
You grab a couple of T-shirts off the rack, like some welcome to Kansas, shirts or whatever, and you wrap them up in a couple of Kansas T-shirts. Make a little bag and cushion them all, and you're able to take them back to the turtle and place them gingerly, like in one of the seats.
All right.
And then however long that takes. But I'm headed for the what's it called deal now.
And there was one against an actual zombie that went wrong.
Yep.
I just thought that was interesting how that worked out.
Yep. And do your best not to talk at the same time as other people. Unfortunately, Discord has trouble picking up more than one voice at a time. But we're doing great. You're doing great. All right.
Like I said, I'm just headed back to however long that took. Then I will be headed over to the sports shop.
Yeah, it is 6 figurines that you're packaging up, making sure. So it'll take you about just 5 or 6 minutes. Oh, actually, no, you had to search the place. So it'll take you about 10 minutes. But that's okay.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, because you had to search. It had to be safe. Didn't want to get surprised.
And like I said, I'm just I'll be headed over there. I just want you to know where I was going when it was time.
Absolutely. All right. So we'll wrap up. Let's try to wrap up these stores and then we'll take a break because I see it's 9 o'clock. So I want to try to get these done quickly so we can take a quick break. So who is going into the sporting goods store?
That was
okay.
That was Hank at first and then Frank later.
Frank. All right. So Frank, you head into the sporting goods store. Windows broken out from the inside. Anything in particular you're looking for? Obviously, some things have been taken. Somebody's been here.
Food and water first, and then helpful supplies, weapons, any kind of tools or like fishing or hunting equipment, anything like that, as kind of a secondary thing. But definitely food and water or some kind of potable liquid is the first priority.
Okay.
Tanks.
Sure. So you start kind of looking around and things for things like that. You find a couple of baseball bats, some if you want some like hockey pads or things like that. Again, more candy bars if you'd like to grab some candy bars or something like that. We'll say you probably find like there we go. You find like a couple of MREs. So you find 2 or 3 MREs that are still on the rack. People overlooked them or something like that, and that'll count for 2 pounds of food, unless you'd like to make some pulls. But that's what you find so far. You found about 2 pounds of food in MREs. Some various baseball bats, maybe a hockey stick, some dad's gloves, and some more candy bars.
Well, I've already had a roll go bad for me already, so I'm.
All right. For 1 roll, I'll give you 3 pounds. This is a bit unusual. Most people wouldn't look for food in a sporting goods, but they also have a limited amount. So yeah, I'm probably just going to say 1 for 3 or 3 for 5. So 1 roll for 3, 3 rolls for 5.
This is in addition to
the 2 that I already found.
In addition, so the two you can count.
I'll do one. I'll do one. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Worst comes to worst, I can be done early. Boom.
No, we don't want that, Hank.
Okay. I think 80 is good.
Clear.
Well, it's close to 78, but it's doing okay. So, yep. You do a little bit more looking around. You look in the back, and you find a little bit more of the MREs in a crate or whatever, and you grab an extra 3 pounds for some MREs.
So a total of 5.
Total of 5.
All right. Cool.
All right. Was anybody headed into the Payless store?
Full 10% of our objective there, so that's good.
No, it doesn't sound like anybody's headed in. Okay, five and dime. Who is headed into the
Where
five and dime?
was Sam going?
Yeah,
The general store.
general store.
Or
Okay.
Dollar General or
Yes.
whatever.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Sam, you head into the Dollar General. That would be kind of a place that's known for having food. So yeah, it does look a little picked over. You know, some pots and pans. All the birthday supplies are there. All the balloons and
Mm.
if you'd like some Disney princess paper plates, there's
Yeah.
as many as you'd like for your next birthday party.
So first order of business, assuming that it is not broken into already, or it sounded like I got inside, so whatever. But I want to like tap and make some noise to draw attention from any zombies that may be in here already, just to kind of get that out of the way.
That's right. You went to the one place that had a locked door. Everybody else, the windows were broken out. Yep. You knock on the windows. Wait a couple minutes. Shake the door. Wait a minute or two. Nobody comes out. Nobody comes shambling down an aisle. So it looks clear.
Okay, so presumably glass front doors, and I could break out the bottom and crawl in or something like that.
Yep. If you'd like to, you're just gonna smash it, make some noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what are the other options?
You could try to pick the lock.
Pick the lock. I got
Check the back door.
back door.
He's already been knocking, so
Just break the glass. If there's something in here,
Okay.
I want to get its attention, and I want to know about it. So
Sure. All right. So as you guys hear it, as you're stepping into your sporting goods stores and the Hallmark, you hear like the breaking glass, and it's security glass, so it doesn't just like shatter and fall. You have to hit it a couple of times and kind of push it with your leg and kind of push it in, but you make a decent amount of noise, but you're able to push the glass, safety glass out of the way and be able to crawl in to the bottom of the door. Once you get it to where you feel comfortable crawling in without hurting yourself, nobody seems to come down an aisle or start to shamble towards the front. Looks clear.
okay. Looking around, it's been picked over and then locked. Is what I'm kind of gathering.
Yep.
Okay. The loading area, the storerooms, those types of things.
Well, first of all, looking through the store proper, like I said, the birthday aisle is completely there. A lot of like the knickknack and like pots and plates and tin foil and things like that. A lot of that stuff is there. You do get access to candy bars if you'd like to grab for personal bartering or whatever. You can grab a mixed.
Definitely take some candy bars. That shit's like gold.
Yep. Sure. Yep. Grab a mixed box of candy bars for
it's
personal
just
trading.
It's just 0 bars.
Just zero. Sure. Just zero
It's
bars.
just 0 bars.
I've actually never had
You
one.
don't
I'll have to
see
try
one.
one.
You're missing out. All
right.
right. So check.
You find a box of 0. Get them put back in your backpack. I'm gonna say you probably find. There we go. Kind of looking up and down the aisles a little bit. There's one aisle that's like the baking section or whatever. You do find not a full bag of flour, but like 3 bags of flour that have been kind of broken open. But between them, doing some like scraping together or whatnot, you could probably get a bag and a half, and it's flour. So I'll let it count. I'll let it count for 2 pounds.
Yeah.
So 2 pounds of food in raw flour.
Rock
As you
on.
kind of scoop it together, maybe kind of pour it into one of your gallon jugs.
Okay. Sure.
So you get some baking flour.
Okay. That's in the store
good for the
proper,
gobbler.
and
That's
I
in the store proper.
complete a circuit in here, make sure there's nobody in here who just didn't wake up or whatever,
Yep.
and then I want to try
Yep,
the back
checking on
room, and I want to be careful and knock on the door and open it, see if I hear anybody shambling or whatever, and assuming it's clear, go in there and check other boxes or just trying to make sure there's nothing back there.
Sure. You go into the back storage room, and as you go into the back storage room, it is just utter chaos. Like shelves have been knocked down. There's like looks like a fight broke out back here. Like there's like a broken table, there's a broken chair, the door to the break room is open and like off its hinges. The refrigerator has been knocked over, and you see like some old dried blood stains that are like leading towards the back door. The back door is closed. No, they wouldn't typically have like a garage loading bay. So like the back door is closed. But yeah, like several shelves are kind of like toppled over on each other, and you see like a couple of zombies that have been like pinned by the shelving, and have had like their head caved in one way or another, and they're not fresh. They've been there for a while. They're past the point of really stinking really bad because they've just dried out, and it's past that. But you can tell some people must have gotten into a scrap with some people in the back room.
Is there so there's no threat, it sounds like. I search around. Do I find anything usable? Food-wise, water?
I'm not... unless you'd like to pull, I'm not going to there's not anything there to find just for the pickings. If you would like to make one pull, I'll give you 2. Go ahead. Someone creative? Is
there because a lot of times there's access to the roof in these places like via a ladder or some type of surface access. Is there access to the roof here? Maybe somebody has stuff stored, I don't know, up there's like a camp or something on top of the roof, or who knows what. If there's something like that, I will check.
Okay, there's certainly there's some roof access. You can you're gonna have to like move one of the bookshelves. You're gonna have to move a shelf out of the way to get access to the roof hatch. Okay, but I won't make you pull for that. You kind of topple it over and get it out of the way. I hadn't planned on putting anything on the roof. Is there something that you'd like to find on the roof?
I would like to find a camp that these people were holed up in, and supplies. So, yeah.
Okay.
Like 50 pounds of food, and
I would settle for 10.
The full apocalypse bunker, except it's not underground in the backyard. It's actually on the roof this time.
Maybe they had buckets collecting water, or I don't know, right? I bet there's something.
Okay. For a survival camp up on top of the roof that has like some type of water collection system, I would give you
only 4 pulls.
Now let me think about this for just a minute, because that's a creative idea.
I know, right?
But it's not something that I had intended to be there. It's not.
Well, what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, it's hard to give you guys an example without giving you the answer. Man. The kinds of creative ways that you can find. I heard somebody say something like a church for food donations or a food pantry.
Sure.
That's the kind of like just whole cloth. There's a camp. There wouldn't normally have been a camp. So doing a little bit of thinking, I will give you 5 gallons of water in a like rain catch system, and 4 pounds of food for 4 pulls.
4 pulls? That's impossible.
That's not impossible, and it's a better rate than I've been giving so far.
You've got this.
I tell you what, I've got this. Plus, I have to die first, so.
Or you can cut it in half for 2.
Nope, we got this. 4 pulls.
Okay. I'd let you cut it in half for 2. All right, 4 pulls. 4 pulls. 4 pounds of food and 5 gallons of water.
And I'm gonna do this as separate rolls.
That's fine. So you open up the hatch. You come climbing out. You can see like one of those green, pop up tents, and it's it's already kind of caved in.
All right. Well, I got a collision. I got at least one collision.
Yep, I see the 3 and 39.
I think that's clear.
Yep.
And then
I got 2 3s out of 4 rolls. What is that?
Really?
Pair of 3s. All right.
You're gonna get it and then fall off the roof with it.
Look what I got, guys! Oh my god!
All right, as you're.
You won't spill. You're just gonna like break your spine.
I got
it. All right. I'm going to give you an option, Brad. Would you? Let me scroll up a little bit. I got to take a look.
Would you rather fall on exposed rebar or?
Right. Would you rather
Oh no.
Would you rather lose your rifle or
It's a pistol.
you say in your Greg? Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. I should be looking for there it is. Sam Goodwin, Carpenter. Bat knife book. Yeah, it's a pistol. Okay. Okay. Would you like to either lose your binoculars, lose your pistol, or break your arm?
Oh, wow.
Can he choose which arm?
Yeah, I'll let him choose which arm.
Like, make sure it's the dominant arm.
I actually, unfortunately, this is a really simple choice, and the answer is binoculars.
No problem. All right. So you get up and you open up the roof access, climb up there, and you see this. You see like two of those like pop up tents like from Walmart, but they've like been collapsed and look like they're sun bleached. Like no one's been here for a while. But you do find like some kind of rain catch system that's still kind of half in place. It's spilling out. It's kind of in disrepair, but there's still a trough of water. You kind of bend down, do a little sniff of it. Smells okay. It rained a couple days ago. You dip your hand in a little bit, taste a little bit to your tongue. Smells good. Pull out some of your 1 gallon collapsed. Blow them up, dip them in there. So that's going to score you 4 pounds of food and 5 gallons of water.
Yes.
Also in there, you find like some tinned meat, like devil's food and like tuna.
How much food did you say that was?
4. Or I'm sorry, 5.
5.
I'm sorry. 4 pounds of food, 5 gallons of water.
Okay. So
4 food, 5 water.
So I think we're at 22 food.
Right.
Sounds about right.
Yes.
You also find a little, like a few jars of like baby food as well, and that
counts.
That'll go over fine. Yeah, there are babies. People are still making babies.
Yes, we are.
But does that count toward our pounds of food?
Lived through college on baby food, so
yes, it does.
So that would be 23 then pounds of food total, or what?
Yeah, it should be. I don't have an exact count. It should be about 22, 23 or so. Anyways, so you gather all that stuff up. You start taking it over to the edge, and you like wave to everybody, and you start like grab out like some paracord or something, and you start like kind of like handing it down because you don't want to try to climb down the ladder, the roof access. And as you're like using your paracord line to like let down the water and let down the food or whatnot, you get a little too overzealous or whatnot, and you lean a little too far over, and the binoculars like slide off of your slide off, and you see them smash on the ground, and
in slow motion.
No.
And Mouse is like moving forward, and like Mouse reaches out, and it just like goes right through his hands and just smashes on the ground in front of him.
Now we can blame Mouse.
Hey, get some more binoculars at the warehouse or whatever.
Maybe at the sporting goods store.
In response.
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay. So the binoculars slide off and smash on the ground, but you do get you let that stuff down. There's a little bit of like, and everybody kind of looks left and right to see if anybody pops out or anybody heard that. And after a couple of minutes, then you go back in, climb down the roof access, and go back out the front. Let's call that 45 minutes because it took a little while to get all that done.
Yep.
All right. Anything else for this location? Otherwise, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back.
We're at 7:45 in the morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching us. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Let us stretch our legs, use the facilities, get some more water, and we'll be right back. Our survivalists have just cleared out a Dollar General, a Payless shoe store, a Hallmark gift center, and a sporting goods, and we're getting right back into it. All right, guys, you got that cleared out. You meet back up.
We're still missing somebody.
I'm assuming he'll show up here pretty quick. So, any other ideas, or where are you gonna suggest heading to next? Mouse is
I gotta tell you, there's
Mouse is-
nothing in that Payless that any of us have any use for, unless there's some weird, like, you know, oddball circumstance, like a gun safe or something, you know, back in there.
nah, you
Could
can
have a
always
shoe
find one.
fetish.
So originally we were going to the next gas station near the.
Right.
I recommend. However, if we're going to stop along the way, which is fine, then I'm sure there are a number of churches and schools and such along the way. So if we come upon a church or a school, then we should stop.
Sam, what you went into the Dollar General. Okay. As you're in the Dollar General, Mouse is kind of watching the door, and he's keeping an eye out while you're grabbing the things that you found in there. And I even forget what were you grabbing in the Dollar General? Remind me.
I got the zero bars. Got the zero bars, and then we went up on the roof and got food and water.
All right. While you were on the front of it, you were like collecting up the zero bars and kind of checking for whatnot. Mouse was watching the front door, and then before you go into the back, Mouse kind of comes over to you and he goes, "We're doing pretty good. This is going to be over soon, right?"
It depends on what we find up top. And if I don't lose my binoculars, but I'm sure I got a strap. I'm sure we're good.
So, I wanted to ask you. So I'm the junior quartermaster. I was doing the inventory. Do you know if anyone's building anything that they didn't put on the plans, that they didn't get approved?
I don't know. You should talk to the. You should talk to shit. What's her name?
Bullet?
Bullet.
I want to say Mullet. Bullet. You should talk to Bullet. See if there's what the projects are.
Yeah. Well, it was just a bunch of like nails and some like scrap wood and bolts and things. And I thought I'd check with you first, because maybe Bullet had you doing something and you hadn't checked the stuff back in, or
Oh,
maybe,
it's possible.
maybe somebody.
How much are you missing?
I mean, enough that it throws off the count. So I
Oh,
wanted to check with
that
you
stuff
before I
will
went
turn up.
Bullet.
It's probably in a cabinet somewhere. Somebody probably put it back wrong. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'll do a double check when I get back.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to tell the quartermaster when we get back that you didn't know about anything and that it went missing. So
Yeah, no, I understand.
we'll look into it.
Okay, I don't do that.
Damn.
All right. And then he
Hold on.
wanders back up.
So do they happen to sell nails here at the Dollar General?
Not typically, but do you want to find some?
It depends on what the bargain is.
Yeah.
What the ratio is of pull to nail.
How much are you going to need to find? Let me refresh myself and try to remember how much you need to find.
You do, Brad. Oh.
I think there's some backstory shenanigans happening right now. That
So we're gonna need some. You're gonna need to find some nails, some small tools. Yeah, some nails and some small tools.
What? Oh, they got tools here at the Dollar General, right? Like some hammers, probably, and wrenches.
I got cameras, got some pliers,
Yeah.
screwdrivers.
I tell you what. If you
I don't
wanna
know
be-
about nails. I don't remember nails, but anyway.
between the Dollar General and the sporting goods store next door, if you want to find what you're looking for, I'm gonna say three rolls.
What?
in place of nails, you could just find some really good glue.
Three
You don't have to
pulls.
find them, but if you'd like to find them,
I've got a hit
between
point
the
already.
dollar general.
I got a hit point down already, right? With those two threes.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's the least of the concerns. I feel like I
Okay.
just lied my way out of that, and
Sure.
I'm good.
Sure, no problem. All
He's
right.
clearly,
So-
I'm going to gaslight him. He's clearly got the numbers wrong. He's transposed a 2 where it should have been a 1 in that column, and that throws everything off.
That's absolutely what Sam thinks. Absolutely.
The narrator says, it turns out he wasn't good.
Mouse goes back to the front of the store. You climb up to the attic, find the rain filter, lower all the stuff down. Binoculars break on the ground.
Hmm.
We have that wonderful slow motion of it like bouncing. After it hits the ground and cracks, it kind of like bounces off of Mouse's head a little bit. He's like rubbing his head.
That should have saved him.
No,
Alright.
they break against his forehead.
I was imagining him hitting the sidewalk and then bouncing into his head.
Oh, okay. Ricochet.
All right.
All right, so he comes up rubbing his head a little bit. You guys throw everything you found into the Humvee, into the turtle, and you're ready to
I
go to
set it in there very gingerly.
Sure.
I don't just throw it in there.
So you guys
they can survive anything. I'll just nope.
So you guys see trying to remember my names. You see Frank, and he's got like this t-shirt ball that looks like, if you were, carrying all your belongings on a stick on your back. It's this t-shirt ball about like this big.
Are those angel wings
He sets
poking
it
out of
in
that
there.
t-shirt ball?
He sets it in there and like grabs some of the cargo nets and like make sure it's in the cargo net and it's not going anywhere.
No, that's when you say, "Are those 0 bars?"
Yeah. Are you sharing those 0 bars?
Are you like smuggling a crate full of abandoned kittens into the back of the car? What is that?
No.
No. Next.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so your haul, whatever.
All right.
So we're getting ready to head toward the gas station near the highway, and if there is a school or church along the way, we're gonna.
I also wanted to ask. I had a couple of other thoughts. I want to be on the lookout for one of those self-storage facilities, like the places they always are
Like
looting
pickers.
on, like Pawn Stars.
Okay.
Or like an RV park, like a place where people will leave their RVs in between, like when they actually need to go pick them up and take them somewhere. Because I apparently found out that people will just leave food in those in between. If it's non-perishable, they'll just leave it in there.
Okay, so like
and if there's one of those along the way, that might be a place somebody hasn't had a chance to really look at yet.
So maybe not necessarily an RV park, but like a long-term parking facility that people might leave some RVs at when they're not using them.
Like I said, they got them in those
there's a place
sheds
right
or
where I
whatever,
live, it literally is just a whole, like a square mile of a parking lot covered by awnings, and people will just leave their RVs there when they're not using them because they don't have room in their driveways to park them.
Right, kind of like long-term parking at the airport.
Yeah,
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So you named a bunch of them. I caught as many of those as I could. Let's say there's, on the way to this gas station, let's say there's a school, and past the gas station, just before you get on the highway, is a self-storage that includes a small, when I say small lot, I mean like about 10-ish slots for an RV. So it'll be both. It'll be 10 RV slot and a self-storage.
Yeah. You
Okay.
could definitely look at a place like that.
Sure, but that's going to be a little bit past the gas station, almost onto the highway.
A little bit. You mean like a couple football fields, or like half a mile?
A
little bit by foot, or a little bit by turtle?
a little bit by turtle.
Okay. As the turtle flies.
Yeah, as the turtle flies. All right. So you guys pull away from this little strip mall, and the first place you pass by is like a middle school. We'll say a middle school. So you have to go off.
Guys, you want to take
this?
this? You want to take the school? There's a school. School
We can
means
try.
school means
Yeah.
lunch ladies. Lunch ladies mean food.
I mean, the quality of food they fed kids at the schools. Apocalypse, but you gotta have some kind of standards, right?
My wife tells the story about seeing the boxes of food at her high school, and it said grade D, but edible. I think is what it was labeled.
Okay.
It's the kind of meat they put in dog food.
Ugh.
It literally is dog food level meat.
Good times.
Yum, good.
All right. So Sam's looking at the map, and he says, "Oh, hey, there's a middle school over there." So you pull off your intended route by a couple of blocks, and pull up to this middle school, like halfway in between, some business districts and a residential.
If we can just drive in, I don't know if there's a gate. Sometimes there's a gate, right? Whatever.
We'll literally drive in. Just drive the car right through the front door.
I mean, you could do that. You guys, there's no gate. You can drive up to the front door.
Okay, so there will be a cafeteria somewhere, unless it's like an interior area of the building. If it's freestanding, that's our luck, because there will be some exterior doors, and we can get in pretty easily. If it's in the inside of the building, and a lot of these are, then we would have to like go in and go around and do a lot more shenanigans. Are we in luck?
Let's see. You pull up to the middle school, and you can pull right up to the door. But as you're pulling up to the door, you can tell like one of the doors is open, and it's still the morning, so like the light is coming in, and the light's on the other side of the school, so in the back of the school, and right down the main hallway, you can already see that there's like two zombies just like walking down the hallway in the main hall.
Or children, like middle school age child.
Let's just say like some teacher, like some adults.
Okay. I'm gonna say you're walking into a school. The odds of child zombie has just gone up by like 10.
We don't see a freestanding cafeteria on the outside of the building. It's on the
not a freestanding one, no. But there is. I mean, there's bound to be one in there connected. You want to try to like search around for it, or try to take these guys out?
Does it look like we can like sneak around those two zombies? Like, are they just coming straight at us, or are they just like in there minding their own zombie business?
For the time being, they're minding their own business. But I am going to ask: are you going to turn the turtle off here pretty quick, or are you guys going to keep idling the turtle in front of the door?
Good point. When we started it up, well, I guess somebody else started up when we were first back there. Did it take a second to like really start up, or is it pretty good about starting up right when you turn the key?
It does start as soon as you turn the key, but it is louder starting it. So if you're going to need a decision pretty quick. You're going to turn it off and risk turning it back on, or you're going to leave it on?
The question is, are we committed to going to the school? And I could be convinced otherwise, but we're here, so.
Well, what I mean,
drive away from the front door a little bit, just to see if there is a way to get into the cafeteria area without going through the whole school.
Yeah,
sure. Maybe there's a dock.
Leave it idling, so we can get in and go if we need to, and also because we filled the tank all the way up with diesel already, so we don't have to worry about that for a little while. I'll leave it idling for the time being.
Let's leave Mouse in the car. We'll leave Mouse out here.
Yeah, to leave Mouse in the car.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, you could drive off.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find a way to get around these guys and find an alternate route that's a little bit more zombie free.
Okay, so you leave the turtle idling, and you leave Mouse there, and you guys get out of the turtle and start like walking around the edge of the building.
Yeah, trying to find any other access to the cafeteria that's not necessarily through the whole school.
Sure. You guys start walking around like the side, and like halfway down on the left side of the building, you start seeing like through the windows. You start seeing the cafeteria.
Anybody?
But the access to the outside?
Yeah, there is a door that you could go through, but it's like one of those emergency exits, and you try it and it's definitely locked. There are
Ooh.
windows you could break.
That door's gonna have
yeah.
an alarm on it, probably.
There's no alarm.
Yeah, but electricity's down.
There's no alarm. But do we see any zombies in the cafeteria?
No, you don't see any zombies in the cafeteria.
Okay. Then I say we break some glass, make some noise, see if anyone runs in.
Could you try a crowbar on the door?
Yeah, could try that. Sure. You'd rather do that?
How big are the windows? If we broke just one window, could we fit through to climb through it, or we have to break multiple ones to make a hole big enough for us to actually climb through?
No, they're those like tall, kind of thinnish windows. But you guys could, if you break one of them, you could probably get through.
Okay.
We can try the door. I don't care. I'm good. Whatever.
Yeah, we
Door's
can
gonna
do
be
one or the other. And if
We do have two
a bunch of
crowbars.
zombies come in, we can always just cut and run if we have to.
Yeah, so let's try the door.
Yeah,
Okay.
try the door.
All right. If you'd like to crowbar the door, this is what I'll offer. I will offer for 1 pull, you can open it noisily, which means you're going to have a time limit on how, because you're going to make enough noise to like get some attention. That's for 1 pull, you can get it open noisily, and for 3 pulls, you can get it open quietly.
Well, we want noise because if there's somebody in here or near here, we want to know. So,
Yeah.
Sure.
I was gonna say, part of this is to make a little bit of a sound so that anything that's nearby will show itself and not
Sure.
be as much of a surprise.
Sure, but there's at least 2 zombies in the school, possibly more. So if you do
Mhm.
it noisily,
Are they
I
on
mean-
an upper floor?
no, first floor, ground
Okay.
floor.
I don't want 3 pulls.
No.
One pull
Yeah.
for noisy open. Grab that
I'll
crowbar.
do it since you guys have both got a.
I think
Point
that's a
gun
fantastic idea.
I figured you would.
Frank steps up, gets it in there, just starts twisting, and
Hey,
just
we could have Mouse do it. No, but he's not here.
Yeah.
muscle over finesse.
Do you really have the upper body strength to do that? I doubt it.
All right. So more muscle over finesse. We start seeing the door break and some twisting and some cracking. The glass in the door breaks, and we had an 88. So
I think
nice
that's
solid
safe.
number. All right, and get the door open, jerk it open, and there's lights starting to come in. Your flashlights start going around. And you see all the tables and everything. Like a couple of the tables are like pushed aside or whatnot, but you've got access to the cafeteria.
All right. Get in, get out.
Cooking area
Get out
as
here.
fast as possible.
Yep.
That's where they usually store the food.
Sure.
Yep. Fan out, get back to the
Like a
kitchen.
pantry or whatever you call it.
Heads on swivels.
Yep. All right. You head, everybody's just, up through barrels through the door, bum rushes the back. Just for the location, I will give you guys 3 pounds of food in various sugars and spices and cooking fats, things like that. So you can mark off 3 pounds just for having
Cherry
thought of this
pie
location.
filling.
Sure, cherry pie filling. You get some
Okay.
cans of cherry pie filling.
Yeah, I always had that kind of junk in there. So how much was that again?
3.
Did I say 3? I think I said 3.
Okay. All right.
So you got 3 pounds just right off the bat.
If
All right.
European.
Then there may or may not be some industrial vats of peanut butter.
As always. Or
An
cheese.
industrial
Or like
vat,
liquid cheese or something.
an industrial vat of peanut butter will count for 4 pounds, and it will be 2 pulls apiece. And you can have as many as you want.
Oh no.
Oh, 2 pulls for each.
For each 4-pound
I have
industrial
one question.
peanut butter.
Is it creamy or chunky?
You won't know until
You
you.
can have a mixture. You can have
Oh.
a mixture. You can have
All right,
Okay.
I'm taking 2 pulls. I'm getting some peanut butter. It's 4 pounds of peanut butter.
4 pounds
Yeah,
for
4
every
pounds.
2 pulls.
All right, 2 pulls coming up.
Actually, hold on. 4 pounds for every 2 pulls. I'm gonna limit it to
What?
four peanut butters.
Well, you just. Fine.
I'm gonna limit.
You're
Hey,
not
that's
gonna do
4.
more than 3 rolls at a time? Come on.
That's 16 pounds.
Uh-oh.
That's 16 pounds. That's-
Uh-oh. Fuck.
Uh-oh.
All my
Did you
duplicates.
die?
All my duplicates have been my own.
Yep, that's a 9. Okay.
Wow.
Somebody
Oh,
else.
no.
We've got 1. Does somebody else want to roll one just to? Just to grab one peanut butter.
Yeah, but if he's already got,
We need one more roll.
I'll give you one more roll for free.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get rid of the numbers anyways. So, all right. So you guys, go ahead and with that, I'll give you a 4-pound peanut butter. So you guys do find a 4-pound peanut butter, but
unfortunately,
oh well, actually, let's. How many other peanut butters would you like to find? Frank or Hank?
We're good.
I'll do 2 pulls. I don't care, because I don't have anything yet.
Sure.
Oh, that's true. If you want to just do 2, go right ahead.
Okay, that'll give
I'll
you a
do
total of
2.
8. Now this will be on a fresh set. We're gonna reset the numbers.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Brad. Sorry.
this is weird on the.
You didn't outlive Mouse.
I
Mouse is
know.
gonna outlive you.
Well, as far as we know, he's already dead. I don't know. Could be
All
dead.
right.
That's true. He could be a zombie in the van as we speak.
All right, here we go.
Sure.
Oh, Aaron, it's kind of an unrelated question. Do we know what the nature of the zombie infection is? Like, is it like The Walking Dead, where we're all infected and we're going to turn however we die, regardless, or you just have to avoid getting bitten? Do we know how that?
It doesn't appear that everyone's just infected and it's a guarantee. But no one knows, like, was it a virus? Was it no one knows the origin, but it's not a case of everybody has it. It's just a matter of dying. Is it
like getting bitten is the thing you have to avoid above everything? Okay.
All right. So you guys find two jugs of peanut butter. So that's 8 pounds total. And you start bringing you grab the 2, one chunky, one creamy, and you start bringing those peanut butters out of the cafeteria. And as you're bringing them out of the cafeteria, trying to think how this is going to work. Yeah, let's do it that way. What is it? Frank is carrying one and Hank is carrying the other. Sam's got his pistol or whatever, and he's kind of like, keeping an eye on a swivel. He's the lookout. And you guys walk out of the door, and as you walk out of the door from around the back corner of the school, you see a guy who's like with a dog, like at his heel, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Get him!" And the dog rushes forward and just jumps up and just bites onto like Sam's shoulder and just is doing that, guard dog, tear in, and he's just, and the guy, you see the guy, and he's like, pulling a sidearm. He's like pulling a pistol.
I set the can down and take out my 30-06.
Sure. You want to try to take him out?
Yeah, I'll pull my crossbow out too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot the guard.
Shoot the guy. Shoot the guy?
Yeah.
Okay. If you would like to, let's see. Okay. Here's thinking about combat right quick. For 2 pulls, I will, like, 1 each. I'll let you each take a shot, but you're going to take a shot in return. Someone's going to take like some superficial damage and have to use one of the med kits. Or for 4 pulls, I'll let you guys not get injured and take him out. So 2 with an injury or 4 and you're clean.
You want to do 2 each? It's a brand new set of numbers.
I know. What I'm saying is, can one of us take out the dog and one of us take out the guy for those pulls?
Would the dog be harder because it's a smaller target and it's also our guy is right next to it?
Well, unfortunately, there's no way to save Sam at this point because
I understand this,
fell.
but I don't want the dog to eat him.
Sure, I understand.
Or us once he's done.
Right.
So,
I don't care.
If you want to take the dog out, we'll call it 1 extra. So, you need 2 for the guy and an injury, or 4 with no injury and 1 extra for the dog. So either 3 or 5.
I can always take the dog out with my blade afterwards. So let's shoot the guy.
Yeah, let's shoot the guy.
All right.
So that's 2 each.
That's 2 each.
If you don't want to take an injury.
Hurt.
Yep.
Right. Oh yeah. I don't want to take an injury.
Okay. Yeah, and unfortunately, we see that dog just kind of latch on, and like Sam's like trying to put his arm and like hitting the dog on the side, and it's just it grabs onto his shoulder and then like releases a little bit and then grabs onto his neck and then releases a little bit and like grabs onto his face, and that's where it really starts just dig. And we Sam is just like trying to bat it off as best he can. Let's see here. We've got 79. We've got 68. We've got 69.
I got to
pretty
wait.
close.
I died first.
18. All right. So the dog just continues to attack Sam. The guy goes to pull his pistol, and before he can even like draw a bead, just reflexively, Frank levels his weapon and shoots him like once in the neck, and Hank with the crossbow. We
Puts
see
it between his eyes. Oh.
I was gonna say like right where the heart would be, just
All right.
dead center, right in the heart, and we see him just kind of crumple forward, and take down, and then Hank takes the butt of his crossbow and just like hits the dog, and by the time he does that, Frank is pulled one of the swords and just and dispatches the dog with a couple of slices. Unfortunately, the dog does not live in this movie.
Oh, do we need a fifth roll for the dog?
Oh, that's right. There was one more roll. Did somebody want to make that for the dog? I thought it was all together.
Okay, I'll do it for the dog.
I'll do it.
I bet you would.
Take him down with you.
That would be kind of poetic justice, but
Yeah.
There's an entire website dedicated to asking whether
Does
the
the
dog
live?
does the dog die.
Hey, maybe I'll get an entry. All right, so yeah, a little crossbow butt to the head, a snicker snack from Fire and Ice.
okay, I rolled a 76.
Okay.
And Sam is kind of laying there. He's still kind of heavy breathing, and you guys like try to like staunch the wounds, but he's like not able to speak. Yeah, he's kind of choking. He's not able to speak, and unfortunately, you guys have to just kind of slowly.
A bunch of nails fall out of my pocket.
You guys have to slowly kind of watch. He tries to fight, but loses the fight to stay. As you're trying to like staunch the, maybe somebody pulls off their T-shirt, tries to staunch the blood.
Your mind drifts to, does this count as food? Did we just get 185 pounds of food, or what type of colony are we?
Sure.
We'll never take him and throw him on the roof and tie him on, so we're going to take him back.
All right.
I mean,
Drawing us back in a little bit. Drawing us back in a little bit. So you've got your 2 things of peanut butter. So as Sam passes away. Kyle, as Sam passes away, you notice like in you guys is like trying to save him or whatnot. Like your shirt's got a bunch of blood on it, and your hands have got a bunch of blood on it. You brought some wipes with you.
Mhm.
You've got enough to clean this, but you're going to be out after this. This is going to take the last of them.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna be able to stop myself from doing it.
I understand. So so we start seeing Kyle break out, like he breaks out multiple wipes and just really just go into town.
What?
Damn!
I gotta get it off. It's not clean.
Wow.
I understand your problem, but
That is a hard problem to have in the wasteland.
All right. And you guys, so do you plan to take the body back, or are you going to leave the body
yes,
here?
yeah, we're going to take the body back, put it on the roof,
Sure.
tie it down. We check, any stuff that guy had, like any weapon,
Oh, sure.
ammunition, or any of that kind of stuff. We're going to take that back.
Can we take the dog back as meat? I'm not kidding. Can we take the dog back as meat?
Yes, that would count as meat.
So how many? that has to be field dressed and not all is usable meat. But about how many pounds is like your average mid-sized dog?
60 pounds or so.
Well, what
60.
breed are we talking about? Like a German
Yes.
Shepherd?
He said a mid-sized dog. Okay.
Like a mid-sized dog, not something. I mean, it wasn't a Chihuahua, but it had to be big enough to take a person down. So
I mean,
So I would say a shepherd.
pound sounds
Yeah,
about right.
sure.
Yeah, for a mid-sized one.
60 pounds. After you field dress it and whatnot, then Aaron's not a hunter. I'm assuming after you field dress it, what you maybe get like 10.
Oh, you'd get more than that
Yeah.
out of 60 pounds. You might get about. You're probably going to get at least 15 to 20, at least.
Okay, let's call it 15. Aaron's not a hunter, so Aaron's having to rely on that a little bit. So
You can call
Okay,
it
so it's
15.
okay.
Yeah.
So 15. All right, so
You-
that's
you
49.
field dress it. Yeah, you field dress it, and you're able to claim about 15 pounds. That seems fair considering we lost a player.
Well, the reason I say that is because
We were this close to asking if we could take him back as meat too.
yeah, well, I'm taking him back. If they decide to use him as meat, I don't want to know about it.
So that's
Hey, man,
49.
what
I think
motor
that's
party.
That's 49 pounds.
plus 49 pounds. Yeah.
Okay, so you take Sam's body back. You take the field dressed German Shepherd. You loot the other guy. He had like a 9mm pistol with like the equivalent of a box of ammunition and some extra clips, like a survival knife, and probably like a couple of like a day or two of rations like in his pocket, and like the clothes
said-
on his back.
You said a
I'm
box
gonna
of
retrieve my
ammunition.
bolt from his chest,
Sure.
so I don't lose it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna get it back out and put it back with my stuff.
Yep, a 9mm with the equivalent of a box of ammo, but it's in like extra clips.
Yeah.
It's not in a box.
So
it's
how
in
many
clips.
extra clips?
How many ever makes a box of 9mm ammo?
Oh, I don't even know. Now that I don't know because I don't use 9mm.
Sure, that's
But
fine.
you mentioned that he had some MREs. Does that make up the final pound of the food we're looking for?
Between the gun and that's probably enough to make up the.
Off the food.
So we got the food.
That was always gonna be the easy part, though. That was always gonna be the easy part. Let's be real.
Gas and water, we got a
Ooh.
problem.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So you get Sam's body back. You put it up and put it up on the top, and Mouse is like, "What happened?"
Long story. Sad ending. We should get moving.
All right.
Long story. Help us tie him across the hood.
Up on the roof so that if zombies get too many zombies, we can always throw him off and take off.
All right.
As cannon fodder, you
As
know.
we throw the field dressed meat into the trunk, I go, oh, by the way, don't ask where this came from. Do yourself a favor, don't ask where this came from.
Oh. He just kind of slinks down in the back, and you guys jump into the turtle, and you're able to pull away.
It's deer meat.
All right.
Deer doggy meat.
Okay.
Oh.
So where are you
Good
guys
luck.
headed?
Wait a minute. Let's see, Sam, what was you again? You was the one. We just lost somebody very important. Somebody
We're
that builds stuff.
We're still headed to the gas station.
Right.
Okay.
And then we may, because I know also if there are RVs parked at that long-term parking facility, they have water tanks in them to run the showers and sinks and stuff. So we can try to siphon some water out of there if we haven't found it by the time we get to there.
Sure. Okay. So you guys head out to the gas station. As you're headed out to the gas station, you put Sam's body up on the roof and got it taken care of, and you grabbed like his gear or whatnot. You wouldn't want that blowing around on the roof, so you bring the gear and stuff inside.
Yeah.
I imagine that I forget who's driving. Who's driving?
Hank.
Hank, as you're driving, Frank, you're kind of looking out the top hatch, kind of keeping an eye out.
Frank is? You say Frank is?
Frank, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hank is driving.
Right,
So I
okay,
figured-
yeah.
I
All
figured
right.
Frank would be looking out. So Frank is on lookout. Hank is driving, and as you guys are doing that, like Mouse comes up to Hank and goes, Hank, this is Sam's map, and he's pointing at it. And on Sam's map, it's his like personal map, the one he had on him when he started. There's a spot marked that says Uncle Rick. Just says Uncle Rick.
Okay. Couple of things strike me about that. Where is that in relation to us? Are we approaching it?
No, it's in the other direction.
Okay.
Where is it, Sam?
It's sort of out in a second tier suburb, if this is big enough for town for that. Otherwise, it's sort of on the edge of town somewhere.
Sure. Yeah. So,
Which direction?
Not on the opposite side, but in the opposite direction.
I would say it's past the highway. Like
past the highway. Oh, past the highway. Okay.
We have to go further than we're already planning to go.
Okay. Same direction, but further. Okay.
Okay. And then I guess I have to ask, would I have any inkling of what that might mean? I don't know how well I knew Sam before this. Okay.
No, I can't imagine that Sam would have talked about this.
Yeah.
Of course not. Why would he?
Well, I'll look at Mouse and I say, well, that looks like it's a little bit too far out of our way.
It's just looking at the map, you can see that it's on a lake, a small lake, and they're sort of a lake neighborhood.
Yeah,
Lake Lotawana.
I don't know if this is like where somebody lives that he knew, or there could just be a body buried here for all we know.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Right. Yeah. Well, we have no idea.
Yeah, but on Sam's personal map, there's a spot in a lake residential area on the little bit down the highway marked Uncle Rick. Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely a dead body there.
Okay.
I think he's part of another group, and he was just scouting us out for him.
Sure. All right. You guys roll up to the gas station. That's the next stop. The RV park and the self-storage is a little bit further, but just before the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You get to that gas station, and as you're pulling up to the gas station, you see another car, and like a couple of people like dive behind, like looks like a functioning car, like they dive behind like this little little sedan. It's like
Hold on one second. I gotta grab my charger cable. Hold on, my computer's about to die.
Yep.
Well,
You floor the turtle.
Make sure he makes it. Get it plugged in.
I don't. It's not that urgent. I just needed to do it because it wasn't going to last the entire rest of the session.
Okay.
So, there we go.
So as you guys are pulling up, you see a couple of people like duck behind a sedan. You're far enough away that like they did not open up fire, but you see like 2 or 3 people duck behind a sedan over by where probably the reserve tanks, the holding tanks are.
we're taking them out.
Should I just charge headlong into the side of the car they're using for cover?
We're driving a fucking tank
We got this tank for a
for a
reason.
reason.
You do?
My body's gonna like fly off.
I turn and look at Frank. What do you think? You think we can take him?
Well, first thing I do is if he decides he wants to do that, I'm going to come down inside the car. I'm not going to stay up on top,
Sure.
you know, and buckle in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. That, like you said,
All right.
that's what we brought Turtle for.
Yeah,
Sure.
we get back down inside, and I pull all the cords, and we fully turtle up, and I'm just gonna point the front of the car at the one they're using for cover and just floor it.
All right. Ram the car. All right. Sounds good.
Ramming speed.
Absolutely. The turtle is built for this kind of thing, but you never know what's going to happen when you hit a car.
When you pull.
Here
Spikes
is
first. Spikes first.
Sure, of course. Of course spikes
Yeah.
first. You wouldn't go butt first. You got to go spikes first.
Well, yeah.
Hit it with the mohawk. All right. So you guys pull the things on Turtle, and as you're pulling them and you rev the engine, they get the idea of what's going on. So they start returning with some small arms fire, maybe like a light rifle, like some 9mm or 22 or something. You hear it just bing, 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 bing. What I'm going to ask is, here's what I'm going to offer. You can take them both out and the car for 3 rolls, but in hitting it, you're going to pop one of the tires and have to replace the tire. Or if you don't want to take the time to replace the tire or the damage, I'll ask for 5. So 3 with a flat tire or 5 to be clear.
Since you've already got one, I'll do the 3 pulls. If you'll do 2.
Okay.
Well, and you can start with 3 and see where you can always start with 3 and see where you land, and then decide if you want the 5.
Do we know that there is a spare tire to be changed?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not that mean, but there's only one.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and do 3 rolls first.
Let's do 3 and see how we turn out.
Yeah, it's a limited resource. I'm going to make you spend the limited resource. Got a 76.
I mean, we got.
That's a match.
What?
Not
since
that
the reset.
We already did. That was the one.
Yeah, that was before. That was my last roll. I'm just getting ready to put in 3.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're right.
Now,
last roll.
Okay. Here we go.
My apologies.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Clearly a set.
So my rolls are 51 and 65.
51, 65. All clear. All right. So that's 3. You've got 3.
All right. Here we go. I'll do 2 more.
You're not gonna have him? I mean, that's fine.
Nope, I'll do it. He did 3. I can do 2.
All right.
That's only 4.
Let me go ahead. I can go ahead and do 2 because, like I said, I don't have a match yet.
True. You haven't had any yet. If you're willing to do it, I will.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll do it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So gunning the edge of the turtle. Small arms bouncing off. Even though you're in with the shielding on.
Okay, it's not one to do. Okay.
Mouse is curled up in the back, and he's just hiding behind. He's hiding behind the peanut butter, not wanting to be anywhere near.
Use the peanut butter for cover.
Okay, here's my 2.
Go ahead. And we see it just crash in. Those are going to be low. 7 and 46. Those are good.
Oh my god!
We see the.
Oh, you are on top of it.
Sheesh.
We see Turtle just
Did I jinx you? Oh no! That was absolutely
right
not
into
what I
it.
meant to do.
One of the guys behind the sedan kind of saw it coming, and he didn't want to get pinned between the fence and the sedan, so he jumped in the sedan. But unfortunately, Turtle just hit it with enough and catches him on one of the spikes. So he jumped in the car to be safe, but one of the spikes catches him and takes him out that way. The other guy tries to jump, past the engine part of the sedan, but he's not fast enough, and so he's just pinned against the wall. So his legs are pinned. And he kind of flailing, again, slapping on the hood. Do you guys want to get out, or do you want to wait until he stops moving?
Open the roof so you can stand up and pop him.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
I'll release the cables to open the roof.
Sure.
And let Frank step out through the
stand up and shoot him.
Yep.
And just pop the guy.
Yep. He's flailing against the hood. You line up a shot and pop, and he just crumples and lays there. You start to see, blood streaking down the hood of the sedan.
Hell yeah.
This is putting a warning out to everybody,
Probably not going to be able to save the sedan.
No, I'm not worried about
it. It's not on the list.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's try to get this gas before too many zombies get here from the noise.
Yep, you did make quite a bit of noise. So how much?
No.
Oh, hey, that car has gas in it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It does. It might not have enough to fully satisfy our requirement, though.
Well,
we can only need 10 gallons.
Yeah, we can start there for sure.
Okay. You guys, I think, need 10 more gallons. So
Yes.
here's what I'm going to offer.
No, we had 2 gallons. So,
Yeah, so we need 10.
12. Okay, right. Okay, never mind. 10
Need
more
10.
gallons.
Right.
Okay.
So here's what I'm going to offer. I'll give you half of it for free to get 5. If
Okay.
you want to make 3 pulls, I will have them not in the car, but like right beside, like out off the back of the car. You didn't hit it; it was just out of the back of the car. But you're gonna find another 7 gallons already in containers. So you get 5 for free, and for 3 pulls, I'll give you 7 more.
That's over what you need, so that'll be
That's
great.
over.
Yeah. So that's how many total? How many pulls? 3?
3.
3.
All right. I'm going
For
to
the-
do it.
All right.
I'm going to
So
do it. Only because I don't have any yet.
Yeah, because you're still playing with house money.
It's called teamwork. You got this.
So Hank, you as Frank is putting an end to the guy on the hood.
I'll stand guard. I'll
You
move
grab-
back and climb up through
Sure.
the turret hole.
Right. You reach
And-
past the
and-
peanut butter and just wrench Mouse out of the seat and say, "Grab the siphon!" And you run up to the tank with the big red pliers. You pop the big red pliers real quick, and then you tell him to siphon, and he just starts panic, just sucking as fast as he can, siphoning. So 1348
You got it.
and 43. Okay, so
God.
he's completely filled with adrenaline. He grabs one of the 5-gallon collapsibles, and you've never seen it fill up faster. You just pop it, kick it open, he drops the line, and he's just cranking that thing and that 5-gallon just fills up, as quick as can be. Frank, gets out of Turtle, and he spies something off in the bushes, and he sees another 5-gallon and 2 1-gallon jugs. Pops open the back of the Turtle, hucks those containers in from the guys in the Suburban. Mouse finishes up on the siphon. Just kick it closed. Don't bother to lock it back up, because as Hank's putting the last, or no, sorry, it's Frank. As Frank's putting the last of the gas in the back, he can already see, a small herd starting to come towards. Everybody just piles in, slams the doors, and you pull away from the gas station.
The spikes
Yep.
tug free of this again, and we are out.
Yep, and you're pulling away.
Yep.
So you've got your food and you've got your gas.
Right. Now we're after water.
I will say.
Wait a minute.
I'll point at the map and say there's a long-term parking, RV parking facility here. Those RVs have huge water tanks in them because they have showers and toilets and sinks and everything. We can probably get a good amount of water out of some of those water tanks.
And if we don't, now that since we found out that that's a lake resort thing, we might be able to get water there. But I'm thinking it's pretty fortified and so forth, because it says Uncle Frank's.
Uncle Rick.
Uncle Rick's.
Uncle Rick.
Uncle
Rick.
Rick.
Also,
Oh, that's
we
right.
don't know,
I'm
we
Frank.
don't know how
Yeah.
clean that water is either. We don't know how.
Oh, that's true. That's
we
true.
don't know if that water's clean.
Oh, I'm all for the RV.
You can boil the lake water. Call it a day.
So yeah, we're gonna make for the storage / long-term parking
Right.
place, and try to get into the water tanks in those RVs.
As long as those are far enough away from the zombie horde that's coming.
You guys start heading in that direction. Let me review my notes right quick. Make sure.
So there are a couple of different types of water tanks on RVs.
Hey, no helping from the peanut gallery.
I just
All
We'll
right.
make sure it's not the septic tank.
that would be the black water. There's also the gray water.
Yeah.
So as you guys are headed out to the self-storage where the RV parking is, talking to Hank,
Mhm.
Hank and Frank. So talking to Hank,
Together again.
You didn't plan that, I swear.
you're driving, and as you're driving, you see coming up, down the main And occasionally you guys are just like, like side swiping one zombie here, one zombie there, since you're in the turtle, and it's no big deal. So yeah, just occasionally you like pull over a little bit. Got that guy.
Yep.
Points are we getting?
They're not. I mean, they're not seeing it coming, so probably just like 5 points apiece, not much. But before you get to the self-storage, Hank, you're driving. You can see coming up on your right is a one of those like cleaning supply stores where you get like where businesses go to get cleaning solvents.
Yep. Shit. I know we're stopping now. Damn. Oh, Hank.
Are you gonna call for a stop?
Is there a number of rolls that I can make to resist it?
Ooh.
To have missed it.
Resist.
No,
to
to resist.
resist.
doing
Oh, to resist. Yes, that
go
does.
past it
You
and,
can
like, tough it
always
out.
decline a roll.
You can always decline a roll.
Yeah, but that's not.
Oh, he's not. Oh, I see. Yeah, never mind.
He's negotiating to miss it,
Right.
to steel himself to not.
Yeah, to not have to do it.
Two, just two.
Okay.
You got a pretty fresh set.
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
don't. No.
Shut up, dead guy.
You're gonna die over a cleaning product.
Hey,
So we see Hank's knuckles just slowly go from like pink to like wider and wider and wider.
Well, the
His
one hand
just
that's on the wheel does that. The other hand is like tapping out a rapid fire staccato on my left thigh.
Yeah.
damn.
and it's starting to get almost loud enough that you can hear
Yeah.
it.
Frank
Up
is
in
up
the air.
top, and all of a sudden, Frank's going, wow!
I think you made it.
Yep.
Whew.
All right. So Frank, yeah, he's one hand is just the whitest of knuckles as he just tries like I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And Frank, you can actually like you're up in the turret box, but yeah, you can hear the tapping on his leg, tap 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 tap, like. And Mouse is like, are you okay? What's wrong? Do you see something? What do you see? What
Bead
is
of
it?
sweat.
Tell me what is it?
Nothing.
Hey.
Nothing. It's nothing. I'm fine. It's nothing. Shut up. It's nothing.
And you know what, Frank? I'm gonna need you to make a roll because yeah, Hank is sweating so bad. Mouse is going to pull the cord and he's gonna slam up the turtle.
Oh, damn.
So I'm gonna need you to make one roll
Mouse,
to not
I'm gonna kill Mouse.
Oh
All
my
right,
god.
How many?
just one.
Just one.
Just one. Yep.
Damn.
So, like, you're sitting there sweating and tapping, and Mouse just reaches over, he just grabs the cord, and he just pulls it for all four of them, and all the metal things start slamming up, and the one for the front
He's bound
windshield
and
slams
determined
down.
to get me a point.
The best player on the other team.
Here we go.
And we can just see that. We can see the metal like sliding up to close up.
29,
Oh, is
okay?
oh no, it's not.
It's not?
It's not.
Oh, I'm gonna kill him. He's dead.
So as
Period.
Mouse pulls it and Frank sees it, he like drops down, but as he drops down, he's just a little bit too late and his hand gets caught. Not cut, not taken off, but yeah, you just get your hand caught and you're like it's caught in the car door and it's just your hand is stuck.
What the f- are you doing? And I reach over and I release it.
Yep.
And like
Yep.
shove him against the other side of the. Things are not fucking bad enough. You trying to fucking kill us? What's wrong with you?
What did you see? What was it? What was wrong?
I told you it was nothing. It's fine.
Frank,
All I know is he will have a scar.
Sure.
He will have a scar. I'm gonna cut him somehow.
Sure, without even thinking, like you get your hand and just like reflexively just reach over, and it's the hand that's got like a big ring on it, and you just clock him, and just right on his cheekbone, you can just like already start to see the blood just start to, just blind seeing red, just reach over and just clock Mouse right and you just start to see the blood just start to trickle a little bit down his face. You break out the med kit, and you have to splint your two smaller fingers, your pinky and your ring
Okay.
finger. Splint those.
Well, if you're gonna
So
lose two
mark off-
fingers,
Yeah, you didn't lose them. You just broke them.
Yeah.
but you end up splitting those. So mark off like a charge.
Yeah,
off
and if
the
you punch
medkit.
him with your ring hand, that's like a fractured orbital socket. Easily. Now, have we used enough of those charges that it's going to require more food?
You guys are over on food and gas, so you should be okay. I'm not going to do the math on it because I don't know that we're going to need it.
Later.
Yeah, we're almost to the end of this. I don't think we're going to need to do the math on it. But you're over, so it should be good.
Man, I'm not going to get to enjoy those 0 bars. That's really...
You guys are
Thank you. We're gonna love them.
He went to the fucking Hallmark store to get. Where are these fucking ceramic figurines in here?
What is this shit?
All right. So wrapping this up. So you guys get to the self storage, the RV, and so where are you headed for the water?
So usually it's at the back. There's a couple of different like spigots. One is to fill with like tap water or normal water. The other one is to release like from the drainage, the waste tank. I think they're pretty. I've only seen a couple in real life, but I think they're pretty clearly labeled which one is which. They have to be.
Sure.
So we try to find ones that have the tap labeled and open that up and see if we can get any clean potable water out of some of these tanks.
Okay. And you guys need, I think,
9.
9. Okay. So it's about 10:30. Let's go ahead and see if we can't wrap this up, so we have a little bit of time to talk about various secrets and things. And so I actually get to bed before midnight, as opposed to some of the other nights. To make that 9 gallons of water, let's call it just 3 more rolls. I'll ask for just 3 more.
Okay, I do have a point gone now, right?
Yep.
Yes.
You're both 1 point down. There's a few numbers in, not a lot of numbers, but enough numbers to make it concerning.
I tell you what, just for the heck of it, I've never died. I've never died, so I'm going to go ahead and take 2 of those rolls.
Okay.
You take 1, I'll take 2.
Okay.
Because I've never died on one of these games.
Sure.
It's not a life goal.
So you grab your
Can we have Mouse take 1 for us?
No shit.
Yes.
That little...
Mouse just took 1. He took 1 right on the cheek.
No. Can he take 1 roll for us?
He's not here to pull, unfortunately.
Can I have him get out, run 100 feet away from us and start singing "Don't Stop Believing" at the top of the so like they're not paying attention to us?
Okay. So you guys start, opening up various you open up one and like the water just smells like nope. Like you can just tell as you open it up, it just already smells. So it's like, nope, that's not the one.
That one's gone bad.
Yep. You try another one and it just kind of trickles out a little bit. Let's see, and we've got 90 and 2. That's on the other ends of the spectrum.
Work. I don't think those are doubled up. So
nope.
So I got 2.
Please.
You go to the next one and it starts
Please.
and 55, right in the middle. So you go to the next one and it starts and it's flowing real solid, and you get like 3 gallons out of the next one.
I would hope.
What's that?
Flowing real liquid, I would hope.
Yeah, it's flowing water. You're picking the right ones. You're picking water. So you get to the second one and it fills up 3 gallons and it's still going, but then you hear like an audible tunk, and it just like something like slapped into place and like blocked it, and it just stops coming out. So you like no idea, turn it off, go to the next one, and the next one fills up the rest of what you need.
Okay.
So you got a total of the 9 gallons, and you can get back in.
Yep.
So we got 15. All right.
Yep. That's everything. Now we just got to get it back in one piece.
Yes. We're not going to worry about Uncle.
No.
All right.
Okay.
Not exploring. Okay.
We're both a roll away from death. I don't want to stick my
I know.
nose into anything else that's not my business.
Well,
I know.
but just think, though, if one of you dies, then it's a clean slate for the next guy.
That's right.
Shut up,
Nope.
Ghost.
Noble sacrifice.
You're basically a zombie now. You're on the other team. Get
Am
out of
I a
here.
zombie in your vehicle?
No, on
Hank.
top of the vehicle, tied down.
Hank, you're driving. I need to know, are you driving back past the cleaning supplies, or are you going to go like the long way?
Oh,
So you don't have to
No,
drive
no,
past it again.
I'll take a different way so I don't get tempted.
Sure, I
I
understand.
know how hard it was the first time. I'm going to try to avoid that on the way back.
Sure. I've been neglecting to give you any time updates, so let's go ahead and add like 2.5 hours as you start your way back.
Okay. So we're
So-
right around about 11:15.
So 11:15, and you start
Yeah.
your way back.
Yep.
You start your way back to the compound, and as you're entering into the neighborhood and starting to approach the compound, you can already hear like some small rifle fire, and you can already start to hear like some noise. And as you're getting in eyesight of the compound, Frank, you're looking and you see like a medium-size flock. I can't think of words right now. Herd. That's the word I was looking for. A medium-sized herd of about 30 zombies have crashed into the front gate and are pushing on the front gate. This is the last scene. So here's the choice I'm going to give you guys. For no polls, the compound will be partially overrun. You're going to lose about 10% of the people, and your self-sustainment is going to be pushed back. The self-sustainability is going to be pushed back 5 months for no polls. 10%
Sure.
population damage, and your self-sustainability is pushed back 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Could lose my wife, so no.
For 3 polls, it'll be 2 months of self-sustainability, and only like 2 or 3 people. Nobody that you're connected to for 3.
Yeah.
What for?
Self-sustainability set back 3 months.
Shut
And a
up,
little bit of
Brad.
damage. For 7 polls,
Oh,
you guys are coming in at just the right time, and you're just gonna make the difference. You're gonna mow down most of it.
Holy shit.
So
I mean, I think if we roll the 3, we're going to mow them down anyway. It's just not going to be. We'll have gotten
Right.
back too late.
so zero is 5
I'm liking
months
the
setback.
3 option rather than the
10%.
7.
Sure,
What do you
Right.
think?
3
I
is
go-
3 months.
Yeah, but what if some
And
of those
3
people who
people.
die is your wife, right?
No, I already said that they wouldn't be.
Oh,
3
what?
people would not
Okay.
be.
Yeah, for the 3 polls, they won't be.
Oh,
Just
well,
2 or
then-
3 random yahoos.
And then for 7, you save the day.
Man,
we're not
7.
doing 7.
7
Okay.
sure would
We're
be
going,
sweet.
no, going 3.
That'd be
All right,
glorious.
so give me 3.
Really, don't be a hero. We can do 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds
I
good.
tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of those.
Okay.
I'll do 2.
Okay.
So
Do it for the misses.
Here we go.
Frank
Hey,
spots
but
them.
no matter what, you're going to sit there and get my ceramics to her.
I don't know that they're ceramics. They're wrapped up in
Well,
T-shirts.
He-
I don't know
he-
what they are or what they're for. You didn't
Frank
say
called-
anything.
Frank calls down into the turtle and he goes, "Ceramics, those are ceramics. Get them to my wife." And he just starts taking shots, and he's just headshotting zombies left and
That's
right.
why I start shooting. 'Cause I'm sitting there going, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
What's he talking
for like
about?
a good 30 seconds.
Hank,
Okay.
you start
Uh-oh.
sideswiping the mob and taking out.
I've got 4 or 5
See?
shish kebabs
Yep.
of zombies on the front of that vehicle.
73. Ooh,
All that
73 was
rebar.
right next to 72. Okay, and one last roll.
I got it.
So you start sideswiping them. Frank is headshotting one after another, and 78. 78 is also clear.
Oh,
All right.
whew.
You guys make it, as right in the middle of it. You see some people fighting on the walls. The part of the wall has been kind of collapsed, and it collapsed onto some of the solar, basically all the solar panels for the entire community.
No.
The wall crashes down over on top of them, and zombies get in there and rip up some of the vegetable gardens. And you guys are able to sideswipe a bunch of them. Only 3 of the guards, only 3 people that were on the wall, from it falling down, and from a few that got in. There's several injuries. You have to tend those injuries, and there's a lot more guard posts, because of the partially done wall and having to rebuild it. But the majority of everybody is safe. The compound, and you're able to deliver everything and bring the turtle back.
We just the turtle just plows a bloody swath.
Right,
Right through.
Hey,
Yep.
and I'm like in Lord of the Rings when the guys are counting. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. And you're like, I got 15. What? That still only counts as 1.
That still only counts as 1. That's all.
Yeah, that still only counts as 1.
All right.
Yes.
The turtle comes in, ends up. Mouse is like even Mouse, like he does, like as you're sideswiping, he's like opening the door and like smacking a few with the doors and like taking a few by popping the door open at the right time. Even Mouse gets a little bit. A few, like a month or two later, when the wall is rebuilt and some things are kind of cleaned up, there's a little bit of a celebration dinner for you guys. They've already had the funerals and things for Sam and for the other guards that fell.
Nobody showed up. No,
Housing in the
invite to Uncle Rick.
Yeah.
Housing in the community is done kind of on a little bit of a seniority basis. So like when you come to the community, you kind of start out in like a little bit of the tent city, and then after you've kind of been there a little bit and they can trust you, they move you up to like some apartment, like what am I thinking about? Like you're sharing a house with people, and then you can move from sharing a house to like having your own house, and then the houses can get a little bit nicer with a little more amenities. You two, Hank and Frank, are moved up. Hank, Frank, and Mouse are all moved up. So you guys are now into living spaces where it's just your family. Yeah, sure. You're moved up to where it's just your family in a house. You're no longer sharing a house with anybody. You've got your own house. So now you two can tell me, like in the next 6 months to a year, go ahead and give Hank and Frank a little bit of an epilogue.
Hank's gonna try some exposure therapy. Go out and try to start getting his hands dirty, and then try not to wash them for as long as he can. See if he can handle it. It starts getting a little bit, baby steps. It gets a little bit longer and longer every time. Very, very slow, but there's progress being made. He will find in one of the houses like one of the people who lived there before this all started had a flight simulator. So they had like one of those replica, like the throttle, controller things. And that's a great find for him because it feels like he can actually fly something again. And the baby in his family, not his, but a relative's baby that was on the way is born healthy because of the extra stuff that he managed to barter and bring home and everything. And no one ever finds out that the reason the gas was missing is because he went out and got it when no one was looking. So it's a relief that he pulled that off and got away with it when nobody noticed.
All right. And Frank, how does Frank's epilogue go?
Basically, we move into the new house. Of course, the wife is ecstatic with all the figurines that I brought home. So we celebrated that night, and we now have a little one on the way. And we found out that it may be twins. But other than that, he opens out of his garage in the new house, a garage that he repairs other people's things that need repaired. Once again, with the bartering and all the stuff that he brought back extra and all that kind of stuff. I like that idea. Anyway, he's feeling really good about himself and everything. And he still does not trust Mouse. He doesn't invite Mouse over for nothing. If he sees Mouse knows he better turn around and go the other way because Frank is not happy with him at all.
Yeah, and Mouse absolutely does. He in Mouse's epilogue, he spends some time learning your schedule, like when you go to dinner, when you exercise outside or if you walk a dog or anything. Like Mouse spends some time like mapping out your normal routine, and he actively makes sure that he is nowhere near at that time. Like he is inside when you're outside walking the dog. He always goes to dinner like 2 hours after you go to dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever. And if he sees you, he always walks to the opposite side of the street or whatever and makes sure that he doesn't make eye contact. So he actively goes out of his way to stay out of your way.
Cool.
All right.
And because we did such a great deal, I definitely try to become a very good friend to Hank's.
Sure.
I'll take it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for playing. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's terrible. Knock on wood.
So now I would invite, if anybody wants to discuss their characters, tell us any secrets that didn't come out, any last minutes, and then we can bid our audience a thank you for watching and a good night.
Yeah.
But any secrets you want to reveal first?
So Hank was the pilot, which didn't really come into a lot of, if there had ever been a chance to, my idea was that he was going to be the most comfortable the higher up off the ground he could get. So anytime there would be, like an obvious, like a fire escape on the side of a building or a ladder or a tall tree, he'd want to get up there and whatever. That's why he wanted to drive. As the closest thing he could get. There's not really anything left to fly anymore. The reason why there is no gas, like I said at that first gas station, is because a week before this, Hank snuck out with a group and took it all. Yeah.
With a group.
What?
A group of colonists?
A group of people. Yeah. Me and like 2 other people who are like part of a couple of my brothers or something, because one of my sisters-in-law had a baby on the way, and my mom is sick, and we need that gas, so I want to make sure that we got it. So we went out and just kind of took it, and smuggled it back inside, and no one was any the wiser. And so I had to really play that, try to like play that cool, which is why he acted all surprised, like, "What? There's no gas? They said there'd be gas here." And then, the thing did come out about he had like a germophobia problem. He usually carried around a supply of like those. He'd scavenged a whole bunch of those antibacterial wipes, and he would use them as often as he could. But if he ran out, then that's when trouble happened. I think that was it. I think those were the only things that I had in there. Yeah, I think that was it. Being a pilot didn't really come into play very much, but...
And I also didn't play into your can't take orders, because you guys were kind of making decisions mutually, so it was...
Right. Yeah.
Brad, anything you wanted to share?
No, I'm good.
Who was Uncle Rick, Brad?
That's
Come on.
an excellent question. Maybe one day you'll go check out Uncle Rick's location.
And Supply Runs Part 2.
Part 2.
Coming up in future DLC.
DLC.
What about you, Greg?
Really? The only thing that, like I said, that really had nothing to do with the reason why I become a mechanic is because my father embezzled a bunch of money from his company and his partner and ran away with his secretary to South America. So I started working in my uncle's garage and become really good mechanic. So that, and then the other deal, the only other thing, and it came into play by luck that I got the figurines because me and my partner had a fight the night before. And this is one thing that she really enjoyed was those precious moments or figurines of angels. So that's why I got those. So now I got in good with that because I got so many.
And I appreciated the strong reaction when I described like the 3 that her grandmother gave. You were like, "Oh, you." I appreciated that strong reaction and the commitment to make those 3 polls. That made me feel good.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I've got to do it. I mean, yeah. But
I applaud.
Death by zombies, chance of possibly getting laid. You gotta.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't need her mad at me anymore. I did hate losing Sam though, but I don't know how close a friendship we had.
I like it far less now that Brad won't share what his secrets were.
I'll tell you one secret that Sam had. Sam had there was like something that there was a secret that you would be expelled for, something like that, and his was that he had been squirreling away nails and small tools and other supplies. Sam comes from a life of living in the wasteland and being part of a group of violent people, and leaving that group and then finding the colony, and so he's got this. He believes that none of these things are going to really last very long. Everything goes sideways, and so he's preparing, for that day. And so he doesn't really trust others, and and the thing with Uncle Rick's cabin is just going to remain a mystery.
Oh, the other thing, I did have one other thing. The last run that I had been on, and it might have been Mouse that did it, I don't know. But anyway, we sit there and so we was out on a run. Well, one of my best friends was on that run with me. And we were being swarmed by zombies. Well, he didn't make it back. But I was told that zombies overtook him, And what I believe is that somebody tripped him so they could get away.
The old shoot him in the knee and
keep moving. Whatever. So in other words, so I was kind of leery. One thing I was always doing is I was kind of watching. I was never told that she was one of the people that was on that run with me. But if I would have been told that, then I'd have been kind of leery of certain people. Mm-hmm. But I was never told that you were the same people that was on with that last run.
And that was a mistake on my part. I meant to say at the beginning, and I forgot. I meant to say that Mouse was on that run where you lost your best friend. But the secret I had was Mouse didn't do it, but Mouse knows who did. Mouse knows who kneecapped that guy or who tripped that guy.
Right.
And I was looking if the rolls didn't if I was having trouble getting hits, if I needed to source some rolls, I was going to create a situation where Mouse was trapped and Mouse needed to be saved. And the way he was going to get you to commit to saving him was telling you that he knew who tripped your friend. He knew who pushed your friend down.
Oh no.
So if Mouse was like trapped behind some shelves and like some zombies were trying to get him, or if he was
I want to know if you had gone after him, I would have left you both behind. Like that.
But yeah. That was one of the things I had in there waiting to see, but I wanted to wait and see how the rolls went. And fortunately, Brad honored us by giving us, so I didn't need to source any more rolls.
I was scared when I got a point so fast. I was
early.
Yeah, somehow I have a history of getting them really close together.
Yeah,
like this. I don't know what's going on with my rolls.
That was 2 rolls in a row for you, right?
Yeah.
Just like one in between with somebody else.
It was crazy, and that happened 2 sessions ago. I think something similar happened. I don't know.
Yeah, something pretty similar. They came real quick. So, all right.
Stupid rolls.
But they were all your rolls.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
People.
Go ahead.
People of all persuasion joining us on the internet, thank you so much. If you can, subscribe to our Twitch channel, like and subscribe to our YouTube. We really appreciate that. The Role Players Guild of Kansas City is doing all that we can to try and build up these channels and these communities. Come and join us on our once a month, typically every Saturday, game day that we hold at local game shops at your friendly local game store. You can find out more information on that and how to sign up for these online Dread games on our Discord or over on our Facebook page. I'm sure all the links and information to find us are going to be down in the description. So hopefully we'll see your face here next Thursday. So sweet dreams, and may the Dread continue on.